right. While I do not have a fun opening scene set up, I have so many things on the ready for everybody. So hooray for me, because I got that done. I spent the entire day just making sure.
And you're too much.
Yeah.
You're too much.
Yay.
I don't know if we can handle you this evening, honestly.
Dan finally has all his energy back.
I have time. Yeah, I need to make up for lost time. So prepare yourselves. Oh, I better shut the.
Oh my god.
Off. Yeah.
I'm scared now.
Well, good evening, everyone. Friends. So nice to see you all and be here for Stormfall. Yeah. And friends in chat as well. Yay. Geez, so last session, our heroes and one villain, Aga, we're exploring, we're exploring the Omega Tower and learning, just obviously as anyone would want to do once discovering and being inside of their new floating fortress called the Omega Tower that has control over a huge portion of the world and can float above all the Omega curtains, exploring it to figure. However, with all of the reality altering magic within it that is slowly bringing this tower back. Well, there was a hiccup as they were attempting to... what spell were you casting there? You were trying to do something with that mage circle.
We were trying to give the tower a boost to help repair it.
And a boost you gave it. That's what it was. Thank you very much, Erin. And this resulted in a huge torrent of magical energy over this arcane circle. And there were flashes of visions for different people. Because, everybody, except maybe Mort, or maybe Mort did too, but his role's a little better. Emil? Okay. So everyone aside from the two of them failed their saving throws, and most of them failed horribly. So there were all sorts of different visions. They saw a winged woman falling from a tall building, much like the ones in Iverness, in the distance.
I don't even remember any of this. I was so smashed.
Yeah, you were done. I think you were shit.
That's why I didn't want Davania to do anything, because I was at that level of I should not be playing right now.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna kill my own character if I do.
Sweet.
Dan, just reread.
Yeah.
Just reread the visions.
Thank you for the recap.
just do that.
Yes, thank you. That would be great.
Nice. Oh no, they were in my head at the time. They weren't written down beforehand. So let's see. I think we had a surprise visit from Astrid that dissipated the Aga's icy vision of Mephistopheles. And she cut through that to dissipate it. There were so many different things, and you'll have to watch that other episode to discover them all. And Rain collapsed. I think she rolled a 1 or a 4 or something like that. So she's out cold, or by all appearances, out cold. Aoife Ravenglass, the Omega wizard that is there assisting in all this, is slowly pulling the magic down and dissipating the rest of it. And just taking a few deep breaths. Is everyone accounted for? That there was a surge. Are you all well? And she'll scan around to see how everyone is.
I assume Emil would tend to make sure she's just passed out, nothing worse. So.
Okay. Make a quick medicine check if you would, Emil, please. She'll look, she'll scritch down at Blueberry, make sure Blueberry's all right.
In the tower.
You were woefully unsure. Yeah. But you do notice, because it's very easy to notice, that she's collapsed on her back, hands down at her sides, legs out, flat, and she's not budging. It's almost like she's completely rigid or petrified in some manner. like a hard shell, candy shell of rain. Eva continues to go around doing if you need healing. No. And she rushes over to you, Emil. Is she all right? Is she just unconscious?
Seems to be something more than that. Unfortunately, Rain is really our expert on clerical matters, so I'm not entirely certain.
I see. She places a hand on her shoulder and casts levitate, and Rain's rigid form floats up. Let's move her to somewhere else. This clearly needs to repair on it. So we gave it a boost, and that should help, but we need to clear out.
Where to?
Let's head back up to the top floor, and from there, I think it best that we, you take leave of the tower, at least until it's recovered more. The magics of reality bending magics are just too strong right now. You've advanced.
I defer to your wisdom.
Thank you. She'll have Rain float behind her. She does a quick power walk back up the stairs to that top floor. Does anybody not want to follow?
Kaylin will follow.
Oh, it's so good. Okay.
Aga's going to stick close to Kaylin because I think she still has the heart.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna follow behind Aga and Kaylin. Keep an eye on Aga.
Am I within like reaching out and physically touching distance of Rain?
Yes. You can.
Okay, then really quick, just to make sure she's okay, I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying just in case something is seriously wrong.
Okay. Nice. You see some of that, the shimmer, iridescent shimmer of magical energy cascade over her, and you know the spell has taken effect. You continue walking up to that top floor. Kaylin, along the way, you receive a message, telepathic message from Brewer, a spry brewer, who's a real boy now for the most part. Kaylin, we have taken all measures to complete the transportation circle. It is prepared and ready.
She'll reply back. Thank you. We might be there soon.
All right. Whew, you send that message off. You head up to the top rung of the tower there. And Aoife settles in and has Rain float over to a tabletop that she hurriedly cleans off. And for Rain, I'm going to describe this. I know you're not here, but this way you can watch it later and I'll try and catch you up. I talked with her a little bit about this anyway. For Rain, right now, time is passing altogether differently. Rain finds herself in a dark, foreboding kingdom, a place full of shadow, a large castle in the distance that she feels drawn to. And as she approaches this castle, every so often, a flock of ravens flies out of a window, delivering, little message loops on their legs. And so, as I've worked out a little bit off stream with Rain, she spends several years there. To her, it's several years. She meets not the Raven Queen herself, but this is her castle, and there are fragments of memories of the Raven Queen that interact with Rain during this time. And one day, one of these fragments that appears just as a broken shard of mirror with the eye portion of a reflection in it speaks to her and tells her that her training here has come to an end and that it is time for her to return. to the Prime. She is from outside one of the windows, caw-caw, a little raven, much like Seb, different, but a raven about the same size, lands, caw-caw-caw, on her shoulder. And the Raven Queen, or the reflection in the mirror, says, "This is yours to assist you. You have pledged yourself to me. Pursue the quarries and the quests that I give you, and this bird will guide you." And a door opens, a door that she's seen numerous times, but has never opened in this kingdom, in this castle. She opens and steps through into darkness. And for the rest of you, as Aoife is trying to, she's cast some restoration spells and some other things, thinking this might be petrification, but nothing has worked just yet. Maybe it's been 3.5 minutes for all of you. The candy shell of rain begins to crack and crumble. At first, a horrifying sight, as it looks like your comrade is breaking into pieces. But a hand breaks out of the arm of the candy shell, and feet kick out of the legs of the candy shell of Rain, and out emerges an adult Rain, or at least you assume, as she's grown, quite a few years. No sign of the bird or anything like that, just Rain, and she seems to be a little bit loopy and a little bit out of it, but she has returned to you on the Prime. I'll roll.
Did you say adult?
How much time
Rain
passed for us?
For you, maybe like 3-4 minutes of trying to work on her. So altogether, maybe 10 minutes since you were in the other room.
What the hell?
Oh, you're right. I remember you. We're in the tower.
I am apparently rubbish at medicine.
Nice.
Dan, remind me again, what is Blueberry's master's name?
Aoife, it's E-E-F-A, Ravenglass.
Is that who is in the room with us?
Yes.
Okay, Kaylin's going to turn to Aoife and take a few steps towards her.
Oh.
What happened to her?
I'm unsure. It might be best to ask her.
This has nothing to do with this crazy tower.
Oh, I'm quite sure it was from the surge. It can make tweaks to reality. I think I may have underestimated the amount of energy you could pour into. You all were capable of. I'm so sorry.
Hearing her say that, Dan, Erin is going to check herself over because she was used as a conduit for this.
Okay.
She's going to go over to Mort and be like, Mort, did I change at all? Am I like 10 years older now?
I'll take a look.
As talkative as ever. I rolled a dirty 20 for an insight check on Tifa.
Do I feel any different?
Let's see. Make an insight check on yourself. Just let me know whatever the roll is. I'll let you know.
Do I get advantage?
If you roll a 1, you will be mocked all evening. Fair warning.
I'd say just a straight insight on yourself as you're seeing if you are behaving any differently.
I mean, it's possible we could roll a 0, so let's find out how this goes.
Goodness.
Oh, 13.
Okay. You feel you still have a little bit of that numbness, like an electrical shock, that's sort of dancing through some of your limbs. You still have that slight sense of kind of being at one with the energy, but otherwise you feel that the same mentally and emotionally. You feel the same physically. You appear the same.
Okay.
You're a lich. No, just kidding.
Not again.
God
Son
damn.
of a bitch. Yeah.
Son of a lich.
Walk away from this
Nice.
You find a rune on you.
Ah!
An unfamiliar. No.
What is this? There's a rune on
I
my
would just be
butt.
like, okay, I'm just gonna break your neck if you got a rune on you.
Awesome.
Like, bye. Traumatized.
Caitlin's going. Go ahead.
Is there a possibility, Aoife, that this field persists? Are we in danger right now?
I think it best that you vacate as soon as you can. Yes. I'm unsure. This isn't something that's happened under my watch
Dan,
yet.
Would I be familiar with any amount of time dilation between planes of existence?
You know that it happens, but you don't sense or feel any, aside from the obvious that, I mean, it appears that something's happened to her.
Would I be aware that that's a possibility?
Yeah.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Rain, but I've been gone. I'm okay. I'm okay. Everybody.
You were
I'm
gone
gonna
for
walk closer.
4 minutes.
Oh. Well,
Right?
I was gone for. It was years for me. I went to the Raven Queen, and she's sort of there, sort of not, but she taught me things, and she's chosen me, and
Oh,
I agreed
Don't turn
to.
around and walk away at the dock of the Raven Queen.
Oh, nice. I agreed to be hers, so she had training for me, but I'm back. I'm so sorry. That was Davania, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember names. I mean, Emil I know, and Kaylin.
I'm
More.
Eckhart right now, I believe.
Oh, okay. Right. And you, right?
Aga's gonna step up to her and very quietly ask her how old she was when she agreed to be the Raven Queens.
Oh, I was still, geez, I don't know, maybe 13, I think. It's a safe number for me to guess. Impossible Girl, if you're in chat, please correct me if I'm wrong. I was 13. I sort of remember... I remember being in the tower and dealing with that thing that changed shape, and then it was some other bad person, and then the tower was fixing. But then I just remember being in the Shadowfell, the Raven Queen's castle. But she told me that she chose me since I was born, which is why I can speak to dead people, dead creatures, spirits. Sometimes.
When she says when she was born, she was chosen, his face is going to darken quite a bit, and he's going to kind of like almost say something, then hold back, and then say, just know what you gave up. By pledging to something, you give up your personal freedom.
Is that how it is for you?
And he'll kind of, we can discuss this, but I'd rather do it not here. It's dangerous. It's already done something to one of us, and I think we should leave. And he's going to nod to Ephra. He's going to say, like Eckert, I will defer to your wisdom. I think we should leave. Do you have a way for us to vacate?
Aoife speaks up. One of you will need to take this key, unless somebody already took it. This key will work in any door and change that door into a doorway that will bring you here. You've each been approved for access to the Omega Tower, so just don't bring anyone that is not approved, or it'll be the end of them.
If no one else takes the key, Aaronwin's gonna take it.
It's fine.
Aga will want to clarify whether or not the approval for entrance is biologically related or soul related.
Your soul, yes. You'll need some form.
Excellent.
But yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you've done. You've truly done the world a great service, and I would give this perhaps. She looks around the towers. It's reforming itself. A few weeks, and it should be safe to return. And this will be, your new base of operations.
Right.
She gives Blueberry some squishies and gives a sweet goodbye. If you have a teleportation circle or a familiar place, a familiar door you can think of, then I can bring you to that place.
Wouldn't the Runekeeper perhaps make a lot of sense? We do seem to be in need of wisdom and arcane knowledge. Just looking at the group in general.
To visit the Runekeeper?
I'd like that.
Sure, we can do that. I do have access to a transportation circle was built at the estate, so we always have there too.
That's another valid option.
Yeah, I'm okay with seeing the Runekeeper if that's what everyone thinks is a good idea.
Ape.
Alright, Galador, what do you feel?
I'm okay with the more. Yeah, let's.
Okay.
I think the Runekeeper is a good starting point. Plus, you would probably want to know about what happened.
Yeah. And Galador?
So I'll go along.
Okay. And Davania?
Oh, I want to go back to the keep.
Okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. The state. Rain will just.
Yeah, the state. Sorry.
No problem.
So many places.
There's so many places now. Yeah. Rain, I'm prepared to go wherever. And so Aoife will open up a door. Yes, if you just whoever steps through first, envision in your mind a door there near the Runekeeper, or a place you're familiar with near the Runekeeper.
I'm gonna like grab at Aaronwin if she tries to like run through the door.
She's like,
I really don't want to go.
Nice. She swings open the door, and who's going through first? Excuse me.
If nobody else will, Aga will go through.
Oh, okay.
I guess like the one person who hasn't been there though.
Ooh,
As far
right,
as we
right.
know.
Yeah, you'd
As
have
far
to.
as we
Yeah,
know.
but you said arcane knowledge and Runekeeper, so he's about it.
oh, is this an order Runekeeper? Yeah, I'm gonna kind of like, and then go through.
Nice. As you two squish elbows to go through Aga and Aaron.
I'll defer. Yeah.
I'm just gonna shake my head. God damn it.
All right. Which door do you want to envision, Aaron? At the university.
Oh, it's the university.
The elevator door?
No. Is there? So I'm going to imagine the door to the Runekeeper's like office, except not going into the office, going into the hallway just outside his office.
Ah, okay. And so you step through one at a time. This beautiful hallway lined with gold tiles and white marble and red trim shines like a beacon in the night as the glow from the Runekeeper's library some 100 feet further down just glares and bounces off the tiles and down this hallway.
I think I'm still going to, by the way.
Nice. Awesome. So you have your own shrine as you all arrive one after another in this long 100-foot, huge arched, 25-foot wide hallway down to what just looks like a bright light at the end. It's hard to even see into the library from here.
Calais again. Damn it.
Oh, Amelia.
Caitlin would have waited until the last person went through before she went.
Oh, okay.
Question: Is there so Davania wants to ask wizard person, whoever's left in the room. Bench. Is there a way to unattune my soul to whatever the tower is? Like, is there a way to not want to come back and stuff? Like,
yes,
cut off the connection.
I can do that at any point. It would require a trip here to be unattuned, but I could then send you somewhere and you wouldn't be able to return, but yes, it can be done.
Okay. I will be back then.
I will be here.
And then she'll walk out.
Okay. You appear in this long hallway. You see a couple of Tensor University wizards are coming from the library down the hallway hurriedly. They have stacks of books in their arms. They're shuffling to balance as they're running down the hallway towards the elevator, roughly where you all are. One of them pauses. Yes, okay, yes, it's all of you. Right. So, pleasure, that was unexpected arrival, but a pleasant one. Are you here for the Runekeeper, I assume?
Yes.
He's recovering nicely. He's down in the library. I'm sure he'll be willing to see you. Happy to see you. And then, well, if that is all, and they'll bow and head into the elevator. All right. Are you all heading down to the library?
Yes.
Not Davania? Okay.
Caitlin's gonna stay back then for a second and wait until everyone else goes forward before she turns to Davania.
Okay.
Because she did wait until everyone left before she left.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why would you not want to visit the tower again? If I may ask.
Because I did not realize that we would be attuned, and I did not ask to be attuned.
That's
and
fair.
I have other business besides the tower.
Okay. Just...
Sorry, I'm not trying to be... I'm just really conflicted right now. Seems like the university isn't what I thought it was, and for somebody who has worked for them for a long time, I'm questioning. But since I don't remember out of character for a second, if I gave you the figure that she was working on, the Kayla figure.
Mm-mm.
Okay. She's gonna hand it to you. There you go.
Oh, thank you. It's beautiful. How long have you worked for the university?
About 5 or 6 years.
It's a while.
Yeah. They pretty much helped save my life, and it's just difficult being amongst others who seem so adamant that everything I stand for isn't what it seems. So if you will excuse me, I am going to find the nearest tavern.
All right.
Or any place with a drink. I will be there. but the tower wasn't my fight. So
That's fine.
I will more than likely be back to unattune myself, but I need to be alone.
Sure. Have fun.
You too. Hope you find the answers you're looking for.
Thanks. Kaylin will follow, kind of scurry and hurry back where everyone else went, towards the Runekeeper's place.
Okay.
As we're walking down towards the Runekeeper, if I could walk up next to, I think you said you're Eckert right now. Aga will say, you asked whether or not pledging to something was me giving up my freedom. If I had no choice in the pledge, like I did when I was a child, then yes, that is how it is for me. If I make the choice to pledge as an adult that knows the losses that come with the loss of freedom, then no, it is my choice to give those up, so it is my freedom to do so. But
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure you knew that not every pledge restricted choice that way.
She was very young. I was forced into something similar at a younger age. It was not kind to me.
That happens to many.
Wouldn't want to see it happen to somebody who I work with. And he'll kind of say that oddly, as if it's something weird for him to say. Like he doesn't know exactly what everybody is yet.
We're working together then, are we?
I wouldn't be here if we weren't.
I mean, bear in mind, Eckert met Aga about 10, 15 minutes ago. Like,
Aga will awkwardly extend a hand while they're walking and say, Agamemnon, it's nice to meet you.
Eckert the wizard, well met.
Wizard. He'll look about. Do you have a spell book? That's out of character. He doesn't say that, but do you have one? Like, does he see one on you?
No. Goodness, no.
He'll kind of look at you skeptically. Can I insight that? Wizard with no spell.
Absolutely.
Probably will not pass that, but it's not even a good roll. Oh, but I have pretty good 19. Yeah, it's up to 10?
And deception.
Oh. What does that... What? I mean... Okay, definitely not a wizard then. But okay. All right. Well, he'll just go, well met. And he'll kind of like shifty eye you a little bit and then kind of just let you move past him and fall back into the group.
That look is like Eckert's standard response from any human he's ever met. So there's really... It doesn't faze Eckert at all.
Okay.
Nice. Oh, you know what? I mean, as you two are completing that exchange, another couple of the Tent University individuals come through, robed individuals, just minding their own business at work. One of them drops a couple of books nearby you on the floor, and I'm so sorry. And she goes to pick them up, and as she does, she's actually gesturing with some thieves' cant as she's lifting the books and moving them around in certain ways to inform you that Aramin is seeking contact in Caldarul, the dwarven Kaelin's dwarven city. Sorry, Aramin, because I haven't done my due diligence in your thing, is your current mentor at nice. And it's very quick and brief and to the point, and she can you'll forgive me, please, and carries on with her business.
Just because I would have checked, was there a Harper pin on her somewhere?
You know what? Let me see. because she's trying to reflect that. Yeah, it's a pretty good roll. Yes, yep, you would have seen just below the cuff as she went to pick up one of the books and done the thieves' cant, she would have flashed it briefly, the hand over her cuff for a moment, so you could have seen it.
Perfect. Okay.
All right. You continue to the library. Your eyes getting used to the light now of this enormous circular library. Incredible library. The walls are nothing but bookshelves, and they have beautiful brass spiral stairways up to the three different levels. And then there are concentric rings of bookcases that go all the way towards the center, where it's probably still 35, 40 feet across, a circular empty space in the center where there are reading tables, chairs, and such, and in one of them sits the Runekeeper in his humanoid form. Book floating above him as he quickly scans the pages. That makes them flip on their own. Oh. Sets the book down. Hello. It is good to see you all. What brings you back? How did you fare?
I mean, we're all alive.
This is good. Nice.
Emil doesn't know. Emil wasn't there. Emil has nothing to say, so it's probably a really good time for Eckert to duck into the shadows and come back out as Emil. But
Sure.
for now, Emil wants nothing to do with this conversation. He doesn't know.
That's amazing.
Well, what is it you care to know?
Well, were you able to secure the tower? Keep it out of
Yes.
Victoria's? Good. Well, to the first success of the Stormfall coalition, then. It'll conjure up a number of golden goblets on the table full of some sweet smelling wine. Please, sit. Fill me in on the details.
Oh boy.
And I'll skip that. I won't brutalize you all with it.
Yeah, no, like that's how it starts. We all just go, oh boy.
The sermons, all the sermons.
Nice. And he'll take in the fact that Rain's a little older, Davania's not here, but he'll go around and kind of ask each of you for your input and what your experience was in the tower and leading. He'll be extra interested in the information about the Omega Curtain and how the Omega Tower affects that and some of its origins before finally feeling caught up on information. Well, Sterling Sam has no current additional news aside from the city in which the tower resided has been ransacked by Rakari's forces. It currently burns.
Did anyone get out?
Some survived.
Some as in...
Several dozen. Sadly, it was a city of thousands.
Aga will speak up at several dozen. He'll say, anyone in particular you know of? Any notable individuals? And he will describe Kier's Lament.
Okay. Let's see. Well, they would have...
Or would they not count because they were up in the tower?
Yeah, they were in the tower,
Okay,
so probably...
then never mind. He wouldn't say that because he would have known that.
Gotcha. Okay. He describes... no, he doesn't have any really descriptions of people. It just seems to be a head count from Sterling Sam. What remains of the city is being held by some remnants of Rakari's forces being left behind. I believe them to be a large group of the Dragonborn from Tegradoth. But still, what you have done has saved millions. You've done good work.
But isn't Yathas still a threat?
Yes. Yes. See him get a little distressed, which doesn't happen too frequently. Sterling Sam is seeking Raikari's next movement. It's disturbing but informative to hear that Raikari seeks an avatar for Yathas.
I thought it was.
Yathas? Are you talking about Yathas, Dan?
Yeah, Raikari is seeking, or is trying to use his son, Aelor, as the avatar for Yathas. So he's. Oh, sorry. Did you have a DM question for that? Sorry.
I thought. No, I might just not be understanding things. I thought Rakari died. I thought he was gone in the tower.
So the creature that was there looked like Raikari at first, which, surprise, was Ren. And when you defeated it, it turned out to just be, but it turned out to be a shapeshifter holding Raikari's form.
I think I misunderstood and thought Rakari was a shapeshifter. Okay.
Oh, okay, my bad. I guess you really technically wouldn't know either way, but meta-wise, that's what's going on.
Okay.
No, actually, it did say because Aelor's ghost popped up and said that wasn't my dad, that was a shapeshifter, and but trying to be on the fence a bit about what his dad was trying to do.
That makes things even worse. Okay,
Yeah,
all right, that's fun.
Amending notes from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so Ren
fun.
/ Raikari is still out there. He had this thing go, still seeking to use his son Aelor as the avatar for Yathas because he wants Aelor to live and to have enough power to never be hurt again. So kind of a misguided, deal there.
Wait, so Ren still has Aelor's body?
In fact, in the visions that you saw in last session, at the end, there was the body covered in a blanket, and you saw the Dayroness, what's her name? Archivist Lorna walking by, and it looked like very similar to the Aelor ghost under the blanket, except laying down on a tomb. She was guarding it and preparing.
I think
things
you even
around it.
said that we could tell it was Aelor.
Okay. Yeah. So he's distressed at the news, but at least glad to have a better understanding of what's going on. The Runekeeper is. This should at least allow us to better plan and act accordingly. I think it's important that each of you find some time to rest and then pursue strength, power, skills to help in whatever battle is to come.
This is purely Emil will suddenly appear kind of at the back, seated there. Just
Yes, that's awesome. Mm-hmm.
So this is now all about power and strength then, and not wisdom and learning.
You see, there was a tension on his face and a focus that softens as you say that. You are a wise one, Emil, yes. Most certainly, we should not lose sight of the reason behind our struggle. The insight and wisdom that will carry us through. I said it's not all about strength. Forgive me. I worry. Makes me unfocused.
Aga will speak up just for a moment to say that strength is the tool that wins the battle, but wisdom and learning is what wields it. You can't apply strength without the wisdom and learning to know where.
I think with each of us sharpening one another, as iron does, our coalition will not fail. I value each of you, your input, your character. Let us move forward together. And then he'll fill up your goblets again.
Then it's not going to take anything.
Okay. Nice. Ting. All right. Mort, do you have anything that you want to do or add or say while it's here?
Yeah, Mort thinks of one thing. He'll pull out his notebook, and he just wants to check with the Runekeeper on. He's going to show him the notes from Kalen's Keep's basement, the runes on the
Times Square thing, the frame.
Yeah, and see if and just share my deductions with him about it could have been Mr. Tenzer himself that did this. Any insights he would be able to give
This is
onto.
fascinating. I would need to study this. Might I have a copy?
Certainly, and I will scuttle off to someplace private.
Nice.
Begin scribing the notes.
While you're doing that, Aaron will kind of hand over her notes too.
But not the pizza notes, damn it. He's not getting those.
I mean, they're kind of intermixed.
Well, they got pizza stains on them.
Yeah, there's pizza there's pizza stains, and then there's like time, and then on the side is like better dough ? More flour.
While they scribe notes, Aga would ask if, speaking of learning wisdom and power, if the Runekeeper has any spells that they would be able to share that Mort and Aga could scribe into their spell books that may assist in the coming conflict.
Roll a d4, if you would.
Alrighty. I hate when you choose a weird dice like that. Makes me nervous. That's a 2.
Okay. They are spell supply is being put back in order after the destruction of the library, but we can find you at least a couple spells. And it's 2 spells, so you can take them both, or you can have one for you, one for Mort, and I'll have you do different rolls to find out like what spell level and stuff.
I will take them both, but I will share them with Mort because I have a spell book that I can just open and help Mort scribe them in his.
Okay.
So I didn't think that it was like I thought if he gave us 2 spells to learn that we could both learn both of them. I didn't know.
I suppose it doesn't consume the old one, huh? Spell
No, because you
learning?
have to use your own ink and paper to scribe it onto your spell book.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're just copying it over.
All right, roll a d6 then, if you would. Actually, roll 2d6, but let me know the values separately,
Okay.
please.
A 3 and a 5.
Okay. I will get back to you then on what you got.
Okay, cool. No rush. You can totally do it later. I just
Okay.
wanted it out there.
Thank you, yeah. All right, cool. So, you will see return on that.
He gives you thermatology and, and dancing lights.
Nice.
Like the coupon for 50 cents off.
I don't have a light cantrip yet, so that wouldn't be a bad thing.
All right, so I'm sorry, did I cover everything that you had, Mort? I did. Okay. Galathor, anything whilst here?
Not much, no.
Okay.
He's just kind of wandering around.
Okay. And Erwin, anything specific while here?
Yeah, she's gonna want to talk with the Runekeeper. So if anybody has anything short, then do that first.
Okay.
Because this might take a little bit.
Neat. Anything to add, Emil? Or was that your main?
Nope. I mean, Emil's just getting caught up on things at the same time the Runekeeper is, so he has nothing to add.
Neat. Okay. And anything else, Steph?
No, Kaylin has nothing else.
Okay. All right, Davania, have you found a pub to go sit down and take a drink in? There's some good food here. Some really good food. In fact, there's a cafeteria here that serves some really good food if you want to go there. They serve some ale to non... what do you call it? Students and faculty. So you can get that, or you can go out into town.
I'll just go out in the town because I'm
Okay.
tired of being around students.
Okay.
Oh, and I wanted to retcon my mistake from earlier.
Sure.
Because there's so many like schools and stuff and
Yeah.
places, so like I get confused. We're
No
like
problem.
over 100 episodes, and it's
Yeah.
like
There's a lot. Yeah.
So she works for the Wizard College on
Efron.
Efron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Kaylin, that
Okay.
was my mistake.
Okay.
But the college and the university have worked together over in the past a few times. So, but still, she's shooken up by the whole mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go out on the town. I'm not gonna
Okay.
even bother. Like, I just want to be as far away as possible.
Nice. Well, when you step outside, I imagine this would be your first time here in the city of Metz, and this is a city of riches. The buildings are all, everything is just gorgeous and so lavish and expensive. Everything, the streets, the magic they use to light and organize, and everything in the engineering here. There are gorgeous waterfalls that pour out and across beneath the streets and bridges of this city. So it's, and I'll share an image here actually in a bit. So it's that's what you're taking in. All right, so let me scooch back to Aaronwin. Go for it.
Okay, yeah, Calais.
Once-
Calais. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Calais.
Here we go.
I don't think she's. No,
It's your continent, but maybe you've been here. It's east of Rennes, west of whatever's over there. Your thing is further south, I think.
yeah,
But
that's all good.
okay.
Uh,
All right, go for it, Aaron.
So when everybody kind of splits off to do their thing, Aaronwin's gonna go sit next to the Runekeeper again, and
Yes, child.
is this all my fault?
How so?
That thing told us what happened to his son. How the university experimented on him. They started those experiments because they got me.
Oh. No.
If I hadn't gone to the university, if I had known that I couldn't trust them, then
That was not on you, child. This university has been held in high esteem for centuries. Or whatever it's been. But at least a century. To think that campus had gone rogue and that far. You could not foresee that. To think that you would be abducted and experimented on. You could not foresee that.
they didn't abduct me. I walked in on my own.
For education, for higher learning, not for that purpose. They are the perpetrators, not you.
But it's still my power that hurt that little boy.
It was them. They used your power to hurt him. just our very existence affects the world and others in so many myriad ways. One can never plan for or understand all the effects you will have. And so you take what you have and you do the very best you can do with it.
I'm kind of scared. I keep getting more runes. I don't want to hurt anyone else. Because I don't want anyone else to try to take them.
Did you not just save the world, child? Did you not just venture into the unknown, defeat obstacles and enemies of great power to save others? This shows your true heart, your true self, and your true power. Continue to grow. Embrace your runes. Learn from your experiences. And no one will be able to use that against you again. You are on the right path.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
I'll give him a hug.
Accepts the hug. Boop, boop. Nice.
And then she'll kind of just like sit back at his feet like a little wormling and like show him her notes about the time runes and everything.
Neat. All right. Yeah, he's definitely, when you and Mort share that information, it piques his interest, and he'll go right into that kind of study now that he has information on everyone. So everybody has, some time here, of course, to rest and recover in the city of Metz. Do you all, let me see, let me just make sure no one else has anything coming up here. Yep, that's elsewhere. So, Emil, you have your message about airmen. Yes. Okay, but that's elsewhere. Rain, Mariah, if you're still in chat, if you're listening, then if you'll consider, I know you're doing homework, but before you join, this raven isn't a raven per se, at least here in the Prime. You're going to be able to choose a small flying creature, though, to have sort of as a companion, as a, what do you call it, like a familiar. So if you want to consider, look through different beasts, small beasts or tiny beasts, either of those sizes, with flight, that'd be great. Let's see. Ooh, yeah. Okay. And then, ooh, that's right. Oh, I gotta check your stats. Oh, this is so juicy. All right, let's see. All right, let me make a note of that.
Who are you talking about?
Oh my gosh, I have so many notes for things. Oh.
Dan's about to injure someone. This is always how it goes down.
It really is. Mort, please make a wisdom saving throw.
The DM is showing too much glee. Someone's gonna die.
That's when you know it's been a while.
Everyone. Thank you.
I have
Thank
a
you for
wonderful
reminding me of
T-shirt
that.
somewhere that says, "When the DM smiles, it's already too late." And it's got a massive critical 1 on it.
Oh, that's awesome. Ooh, all right.
Not horrible.
Not too shabby. Okay. All right, so are you all going to get at least a sleep here in Metz before moving on, or what would you like to do?
I think if Davania was still down for it, she wanted to spar a little, and Aga would be down for that. Nothing crazy. I don't want to like roll initiative and actually fight or anything, but I think that he would spend some time sparring with her. I think it'd be fun, but I think we could do that.
Okay.
You want it? You want to roll initiative? I mean, if everybody else is down for it, I'm down. But it's just the two of us.
You know what? I'll have you do some generic rolls.
Yeah, let's do. Okay. Well, if you don't want to do actual initiative, we can do some light sparring, I guess.
I go over here wanting to fight with everybody in a group, no matter where he is, what campaign he's in.
War cleric,
awesome.
war wizard, war mage.
Nice.
You better catch me though before I start drinking.
Awesome. Well, the
Is
two
it
of you.
Call of Duty gulag rules where we can throw stones at you guys?
For sure.
Oh, nice. Ooh, you know what? I'll have you do 3 rolls apiece, each Arcana, because you'll be using magic. So.
I was gonna use the mace because she said she didn't want any
I was just gonna use my weapon.
Yeah.
I wasn't like we could have like a no magic rule.
Yeah,
Maybe.
she said no magic when we were in the
Okay.
tower talking about sparring.
All right.
She was like,
Just
"Yeah,
a
you
good
bring the weapon."
old-fashioned sparring.
All right. So I'll have you. All right. First round. I'll let you choose between Dex or Strength rolls. Davania, Dex or Strength.
Dex.
Okay. Go ahead and make a Dex roll, and you can add your proficiency. Aga, Dex or Strength.
Oh, strength.
Okay,
My
and you
dex
can
is
add your
negative.
proficiency. Oh.
Add
All right.
proficiency.
You begin the battle. You face off in a zone squared away for sparring, magic sparring, but you put the magic away.
22.
Okay, and Aga.
17.
Oh, nice! You run at each other. What weapon are you using? The mace? Is that two-handed, Aga?
One. Got the shield out. Always the shield and mace.
I'm
Nice.
using my staff of power as a weapon instead of for magic.
Oh, okay. All right. So you loaded up with that shillelagh or whatever it is. Whoop, and you come swinging at him, and he glances the first blow, and you get knocked around, but you spin around and come back, and you get him, catch his knee, and knock him down prone for a minute. He tumbles back, but then rolls out of the way just before you stab the staff down to get him again, and picks himself up. Round 2, Davania, do you want roll whichever you want, Dex or Strength, and add your proficiency, and same for Aga.
Used to be an adventurer, then I took a staff to the knee.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nice.
You know what's really funny is for the longest time I had no idea what that meant.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I really
What
didn't.
I had going through my head when he said about the knee.
Yeah, no, I had no idea what that meant for the longest time. I was like, arrow to the knee. That makes what? That's such a small target. Why would someone shoot at
That
that?
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it took me the longest time to figure that out.
So I am going to do 15 for strength. Mix it up a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
See how hard I fail.
Nice.
I rolled a 23.
Ooh. And what did you get, Davania?
Motherfucker. 15.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's gonna beat my ass.
Woo. His second one, Davania's feeling nimble. She has like her mask up and everything, so very ninja-esque. And she's Peter like Ninja Gaiden running at you. And you go to do a swing, but you feign with your mace, and she falls for it. She dives in, out of the way, but it's right where you want her. You spin around backwards and jab the base of the handle of the mace, square into her chest. Oh! Takes a minute. She stumbles back and gasps for air for a minute, but then hustles back in her ninja form, and the two of you kind of square off for your final round. Okay, do your rolls, whichever you want to do for round 3. There's
Rock,
some
paper, scissors. 3 rounds.
yeah, pretty much. There's
Round
definitely
three.
some mages like watching.
Critical
now.
1. Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
He got
I
a
rolled a
critical
1.
1. Ooh, all right. Let me know which thing you used, Davania, which skill, strength or dex, and what your roll is. Oh, yeah, I got no.
Same as last time. Same as last. This happened with Thaxel too, where he started out and he got hit a little bit, then he really did some damage, and then he just got his ass whooped.
That's right. I forgot.
It kind of happened with Nobella too.
That's true too. Yeah, wizards should not be in melee. You can be in all the plate mail you want. They really should.
Nice.
11 for strength.
Oh, with strength. Nice. Okay, so Aga, you square off. She hustles back, and the two of you are running like in a manga, parallel to one another to the side. And
I can picture that too. That makes it more funny.
and suddenly she starts darting towards you. So you start running straight at her, and you plant yourself down. You lower. You're gonna try and knock her over you. And as you do, you feel like you catch her with your shield as she runs straight at you. But for the wizards and spectators, they see she's actually leaping. She takes a foot and steps on your shield and jumps up in the air and does a forward flip. She uses a force to just do an in-air forward flip. So as you're flinging your shield, revealing your head, she just comes down with a crack on your head with the staff, and you hear this terrible sound that as it gong right in between your horns, and you're just and you're not knocked out or anything. Well, it's a one, isn't it? Goo. And you sit there, and Davania, so you get back and you're squaring off and you're waiting for him to get up, but you see after a minute he's passed out in that position. He's like not letting his ground go. He passed out like that. And then he snaps out of it. Yeah. Girl! The wizards and such get all excited. What? They're casters, right? Am I seeing them? What was that? It'll be the hubbub of Tensor University Metz campus for a little while. What do you do, Devon? You see Aga sort of like snap out of it, come back too.
Okay, so he has snapped out of it after like
it's just
a minute
brief,
or so.
temporary.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to him and put my staff in my left hand and put my hand down to help him up.
He'll take it. He'll really quiet. One spell would have changed that fight. And he'll like rub his head. It hurts really bad. That was a good move, jumping off the shield. Shit.
You fought pretty well yourself. Not too bad.
Was always better at contests of strength. Being fast and nimble is never my thing. Oh fuck. A headache.
Sorry, not sorry. But
Yeah, it's okay. I'm sure your chest feels great.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty bruised.
I don't think anyone's walking away comfy, cozy.
So much like rib pain and everything. I'm just like, I'm trying so hard not to show it, but like,
That's great.
Good fight.
Yeah, for the opponent. Maybe next time we can add a magical spell or two. Next time.
He'll say rematch soon, and when he fist bumps her, he'll cast Healing Word and give her a heal.
Oh, the pain leaves you.
I'm just gonna give him a slight smile and then just I'll walk away to finish what I was doing with finding a drink.
Okay.
Coming with? Or are you going back to the Runekeeper?
Are you inviting him out for a drink? Is that what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He'll say, I don't drink, but I'll come with. Why not? This town is insanely beautiful.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't really care very much for Metz.
Nice.
All right, where's the nearest tavern? DM.
Oh, you out? Yeah, you'll head outside. You ask a guard or any of the wizards here will definitely know, and they'll point you in the right direction. Everything's a little pricey here, but everything's really good too. So it's easy to find the pub of your type. You won't find any dive bars here. The best you'll find is like medium level quality at the lowest. But the ale is strong, the wine is good, and there's food served in almost all of them. So.
Any non-alcoholic options, or does he have
Yeah.
to prestidigitation the alcohol out?
Oh, nice. Yeah, either way, yeah, they have non-alcoholic options. They have the Zima of D&D. Just kidding. They wouldn't sell that crap here. Like I said, medium quality or better.
The digs.
Opinions expressed by the DM, but not necessarily.
That's awesome. All right, so the two of you were able to go out and settle in for the evening. Eventually, night. Oh yeah, go
I
for
have
it.
a quick question
Yeah.
because Ben was talking to me during the whole Aga thing. So is he ordering something non-alcoholic, or is he casting something to make it non-alcoholic?
He'll probably try a little bit of both. I'm assuming that, you guys don't go, we don't go sit down and have one drink and leave. I'm assuming it's like sit down, have a meal, hang out for a little bit. So he'll probably do a little bit of both. He'll order the wine, and then you'll kind of he'll spin his hand over the top of the wine and just kind of cast a spell and then drink it afterwards.
Are you changing the flavor?
I don't drink alcohol, so I'm taking it out. Do you want it? Because I can move it to your drink.
No, you touch my drink, then we're gonna have more than just sparring issues.
Oh, I don't have to touch it. I can just change the flavor from here.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Might I ask why you don't drink?
Well, where I come from, it's all about who's the strongest. That's who's in charge. I was limited because of my body. Where I come from, people who raised me, their bodies are different. They're a lot stronger than me just naturally. So I had to find a different weapon to use to be stronger, and mine was my mind. And I learned through a series of rather harsh lessons, and you can see that he rubs his right side ribs a little bit. He's wearing his heavy armor still, but he rubs his right side ribs. He goes that alcohol dulls that weapon, makes it not work so good. So I don't dull it. I keep my weapon sharp.
I see. I see you seem to like to stand close to Kaylin. What's the reason for that?
Let me see. I gotta roll somewhere real quick. That's not great.
Galathor, it's not you this time.
Yeah, he'll kind of visibly flinch a little, oh shit, kind of like when a kid knows they're in trouble, but they're still trying to hide it, but not very good. He never really got an opportunity to get good at lying. And he won't lie, but he can't hide his emotions. He'll say, "We found something in that tower. It might be a key to something I've been after for a very long time. She's holding it because I think, to be honest, that it's safer in her hands right now than mine, but that doesn't always ease my mind. It could be in the safest place. The fact that it's not in my hands still might mean that it might end up being someone else's. I like to keep an eye on things that I want."
So, what are you going to use it for?
Well, you saw what I did with the shape changer, right? Took his body from him.
That was gonna lean back and just be like,
Yeah. Well, and he'll kind of like tap the armor, and he'll be, I can't take this off. So if I figured if I did that permanently with a different body, wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. And I think that a body that ages and eventually decays and dies is not the way to avoid going back to where I came from. So I was looking for a body made of metal.
Wait. Insight, real quick.
I mean, I guess you can roll if you want to, but I said at the beginning of it that Aga wasn't going to lie.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's just her personally as a character.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
rolled a 28.
His deception is +0. No way he can need that.
Nice.
So you're telling me that the reason you want this heart and everything, the reason you're keeping an eye on it, I mean, everybody's got their selfish thing.
It's because I'd like to put my soul in it and make a new body for myself.
Who are you running from?
Oh God, that's a long list.
Because I want to make sure that you're not going to bring any of that here.
No. From what I can tell, most of my baggage is my own and will be my own to deal with after my death. I don't think that any problem I carry with me is going to catch up with me while I'm with you guys. I don't think that's going to be a problem. The one time I had it catch up with me, it wasn't even through me. It was through, similar to Rain actually, young girl claimed by a powerful being. Chosen, if you will, by the same people who hold sway over the fate of my soul after my death. Not great people.
You're wanting to fake your own death, basically.
No.
No?
I'm wanting to avoid it. My body, this one, and he'll tap like his face because that's like the only flesh that's actually exposed in the armor.
Yeah.
I want it to die, and I want to take on a new form. Metal doesn't decay. It may rust, but magic can prevent rust. Have yet come across magic that prevents aging without seriously breaking your mind.
It's more probably the darkest parts of magic that nobody should touch.
The not aging kind, or the kind of finding a new form?
Non-aging kind.
Yes, agreed. Bends and twists your mind until you're not even yourself anymore. And what's the point?
Very true. Well, just know that I'm watching you. And I think you already knew that way before. I don't know about the others in this group because I kind of recently joined. And it has been a bit. But I will not drag myself down for your problems. Do you understand?
He'll kind of pause and kind of like survey the room really quick, like it's a habit. He does it every few minutes. And he'll kind of, you travel with a group. You seem protective of them. I assume they've helped you in some form or shape. I imagine that's the reason most people end up in groups. For
Yeah.
help. In one
The
way.
only reason I'm here is because somebody asked me to be here.
Not all help is physical. Not all help is a fight. But
I'm gonna at that, because she's gonna stand up, take one last swig of her drink, because she doesn't like it when people seem to be reading her mind. That's basically what's happening. And wipe her mouth off, slam the cup on the table, and then chuck it towards the wall. And walk out. Then she's gonna, before she walks out though, because she's kind of mad at this point, she's gonna turn around and say, "Do not talk to me about my mind. That is off limits to you."
Don't
walk out.
Neat.
He'll walk up to the bar before he follows out and goes back to where the rest of the group is, and he'll put 2 gold on the bar. So sorry about the cup.
Sorry, thank you. I take the gold and give you a nod. Whoo! All right. Well, supposing that everyone will get a good night's rest here, I will ask Mort to roll a percentile die. And let's see. Yes. Okay. And I'll see what that is, and then I'll go from here.
You have a 30% chance of going insane. No.
You wish.
Don't give him ideas.
Ooh, 82.
Well, okay. You have yourself
I'm insane.
a good night's rest.
Thank you.
You do have a bit of an odd dream. One of those dreams that feels a little more lucid than usual. In which you enter what appears to be a very old, very neglected library. There are bookcases upon bookcases upon bookcases that are covered in cobwebs and dust, and the books look like they might fall apart if you were to touch them. But in the center of this room, no reading chairs, no tables, just a podium with a book on it, chained down by chains around several times and seemingly locked behind the podium, underneath the top. And however, you keep a very clear mind as you're going through this portion. You don't feel any influences. You don't feel anything that seems negative. You head on up. And as you do, the chains one by one draw back and release the book. The book's cover opens up. The pages start flipping. And even though you're watching the pages flip, it's as though some of them stack up on the left-hand side of the book, but then it's like it's just ever flipping and never getting anywhere in the book. You have that dream thing where you can sort of read, but not really. The words aren't forming, but you kind of get a gist that this is some ancient tome full of secrets about lore and arcana that mortals were just never meant to know. And there are spells that are bound in this book, learnable spells, and just all the things that hit all the check boxes in your wizardly, sagey mind. Do you want to try, and you get the feeling that you might be able to reach out and pause the book to look for a spell or to try and read some of this lost lore not meant for mortal eyes?
I'm going to try and sort of put my hand against the flipping pages to maybe slow them down to try to see if I can catch what's going by.
Okay. You do so, you kind of reach, and the pages stop and they settle on this page. Let's see if you would roll another percentile die.
Okay. $50 on the button.
Okay. Okay. And if you would also roll a d6, please.
Two.
Okay. You see a spell that you recognize that it's not a spell you have, but it's hard again to read in here. But you feel like you're drawing in the spell as though you're learning it in your sleep, as you know definitively that you're in a dream. You do wake up abruptly in a screaming fit
Wow.
that lasts like 10 seconds. It's nothing big. Just you are screaming as you wake up.
I immediately reach for a piece of paper and a pen and my inkwell and try to jot down anything I can remember at all.
Okay, you get to choose a second level spell to add to your second level wizard spell to add to your book. As you
right.
quickly scramble it out, you get that faint whiff, perfume. No,
Of course I do.
It's gone. Yeah. All right. Galathor, as you are getting ready for bed, let's see. How are we going to do this? Because gosh, where are we currently? City of Metz. Your shield is back at the keep, right?
No, the shield's with me.
Oh.
The sword's back at the keep.
Swords at the keep. Excellent. Yeah. So you're doing your regular nightly routine, as I imagine paladins do. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I picture polishing things and getting things in order.
I mean, I would have used those words.
Depends on the kind of paladin you are.
But as you take careful consideration for this heavy shield, you put it up on just a square wooden end table that looks sturdy, and you go about some of your other business. Unfortunately, one of the legs on this table was not up to the task of supporting this shield, and so it gives way, and the shield comes crashing down to the floor, which obviously would not be a problem for the shield of Helm if it were actually the full-on shield of Helm, but instead it turns out to be partially hollow as it cracks open along the edge, and in the hollowness in the middle you see bound leather, like a scroll of leather.
Galathor picks at it.
Okay. Takes a little fishing to get that out, but as you do, you find you unfurl this, and it's a map. It's not a location that you recognize. It looks like it may be underground somewhere, some cave system perhaps, but this is almost a classic treasure map in that there is an X that marks a spot on this map, and there's some writing around the border. Actually, can you read, what is this in?
Yes, I can.
Nice. I can't read that. That would be, I guess it would just be Elvish. Yeah, can you read Elvish?
Yes, I'm half elfin.
That's right. Okay, perfect. So you read, and it's very flowery language. It's not like, hey, this map is for this, but it speaks of some important three-piece sets of something, and that this marks the first location. Your mind rushes back to the auction, and those Knights of Kier that were after it. And you think
Just owe me my fucking gold.
you think that perhaps maybe they were aware of this, and maybe this is what they were after. One of the notes that you see in the edge in Elvish is Bol Nodir, which is the dwarven island that Calderul is beneath. Make a perception check, if you would, please, as you're just taking a minute to kind of take this in.
Oh, this is a good die, I think. Ooh, no, it's not. I think my perception is -1, so that'd be a 5.
Oh, okay, yeah. Everything, the coast is clear. Yeah, everything's fine. But now the shield itself is probably, a little welding, and it can be reworked so that you could still use the shield as it functions. It's clearly not a craptastic shield. It just hit the right spot on the floor and managed to crack open there. So with that, I think we'll take a bio break. It's about that time. Yeah. So, for anyone that doesn't know, we take about a 10-minute bio break, and then we come back. I'm going to go get some more special coffee, and
Oh, God.
for more fun. There's so much more fun around the corner. All right, and I'll catch you all here in about 10 minutes. Yay!
Hey Dan, I messaged you on Zoom.
Okay.
I always want to go Zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Nice.
Zoom.
Zoom, zoom. All right.
Those
let's-
car commercials.
Yeah.
There is, yes.
Okay. We can do it during break or something. Be like, oh yeah, I went to blah 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 and then went to sleep.
Okay, neat. Oh, is that uni on your on your shirt?
Oh.
Constellation uni.
Constellation.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think I traumatized Steph with my stream of Emersina when I did that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry, Steph. She was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I don't need this in my life right now.
Yeah. Mariah said that she's ready to join the call, Dan.
Oh, nice. Okay, let me invite her before I go take this pee that I really have to
You
take.
don't want to be a
and-
Mazda commercial. Jesus, Dreadstar. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go real quick.
Awesome. All right. Let's see. We'll head over to the callsy and admit. All right, I'm going to be right back after these messages. Oh my goodness. We'll be right back. Farts.
I only see a cup.
Yeah, my tea is steeping.
What cup is that? Oh. Is it a cafe in
Pretty much the coffee and donuts place in Canada.
Nice. Hello.
Howdy, howdy. How are you?
Good.
How was homework?
I'm feeling good because that was my last history assignment of the semester. And then I got my final on Star Wars Day. And I'm going to be decked out in Star Wars stuff. And I'm going to be happy for my semester to be over. Spring semester to be over until the fall.
You got it. I believe in you. I was seriously stressed out just like you were for a little bit there because I am terrible at online school. And I had online calculus. And then I got a 90 on the final. So, like, if I can do it, you can do it, girl.
Hey, I'm not complaining because my professor made an open book test. Praise the Lord. I'm happy for that. So, I'm not worried about that either. And it helps to have a history teacher for a dad. So
that does help. Dad, sit with me. Take this exam. Although he probably wouldn't do that because he's an actual professor.
Oh no. Yeah. He's actually a high school history teacher. Had him as a student in high school for 2 years for AP History and AP Government. So, yeah. The one thing that he taught us, if we did not learn anything in his class, but is to learn to think for ourselves. So,
interesting.
What is that? Yeah.
That was a lot of my teachers that taught that for me were like my science and English teachers. Although that's not true because I did have one history teacher that was very much like a use your brain type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yay.
He was awesome though. He was a retired lawyer who was teaching because it was fun. And so he literally did whatever he wanted. Like he drove to school in a Porsche and would during lunch break, because we had 2 different lunch breaks and he got both of them, he would go play a round of golf and he would keep his golf clubs in his Porsche. And he would go play a round of golf on his lunch break and then come back to school and they would say, you can't do that. And he would say, then fire me because I don't need this for money. I do this for fun. And they never fired him. He was really awesome. And oh my gosh, I loved so many things about his class, but he was a serious dick. Like if you fell asleep in his class, he would slam the book down on your desk right in front of your face to wake you up. And sometimes it would move like the desk downward and then your head would slap against the desk. So it wasn't a great way to wake up. I only did it once and I never did it again.
I never fell asleep in my dad's class because he made the conversation interesting. And then I had a couple of classmates who were so competitive. Like one of my classmates would talk bad about my other classmate behind our back. Like that's how competitive, because they were competing for the top 10.
Oh, the valedictorian thing?
Yeah, valedictorian number 2.
Salutatorian, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Dan, I caught at the beginning of the stream, so I know what happened. So you don't have to catch me up.
Oh, there's a part, if you would consider, so that whole raven you got isn't actually a raven. It's sort of like in the way that it's like a, what do you call it? It's familiar in the way that mages can summon that. So you can choose a small beast that can fly, small or tiny beast that can fly, if you would, and that'll be your companion to have around.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Let me. Nope. Not DMs, guys.
I think Emil, Davania, Kaylin, Galbator, Aga. Wow, everything's still the same when you joined. I love
Really?
that. Yes.
That's
That
amazing.
never happens. Huzzah.
Well, not a dragon turtle. Nope.
Side note: while we're here and waiting for people to join us again, do you mind if I brag a little bit, Dan?
Go for it. Are you kidding? Yeah.
Okay, so I let me see if I've still got it.
I'll put our pictures back on just so you know.
Yeah. So I during this whole quarantine thing, I've been cooped up at home because the hospital that I was working at put me on furlough. And so I was looking for things to do, and I found a guide online on how to make a PVC bow and arrow with a heat gun. So I
Yes.
did.
That's amazing.
And I actually fired it for the first time today.
Does that work?
I'm a terrible shot.
Uh-huh.
I'm a terrible shot, but it's actually a good bow. It's like it's like about a 40-pound recurve bow. It's a little bit less than 40 pounds.
Jeez.
Yeah,
That's
and I just got the arrows in today, and I learned. I'm not sure if it's visible on the camera or not.
The
why-
forearm slap. Yep.
why archers wear wrist guards, because I got so excited. I knew I should have one on, but I got so excited when the arrows showed up that I just hurriedly grabbed my target.
Yes.
And
I
ran
saw
out
a
and
kid
back.
take a whole slice off of his arm doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
It felt not great,
Yeah.
but I was so stoked, and it was an absolute blast to fire it.
is
So now I'm
awesome.
gonna kind of make myself a wrist guard, because I mean it's a DIY bow, so why not a DIY wrist guard?
Do it.
And I'm gonna go on Sunday. There's a retention pond that's like it's almost a mile long by my parents' place, and I'm gonna go set up my target out there and do some shooting on Sunday. See if I can't get a little better at it.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was dope. It was so much fun, and it only took me 2 hours. And the PVC pipe cost $2.20, and the I just used paracord for the bowstring, which I mean it's not going to make you like a phenomenal bowstring, but it's functional for a beginner level.
Mhm.
And that was I think $8 for 100 feet or something like that.
nice.
So I bought like 5 or 6 PVC pipes,
Nice.
and I'm probably gonna go make like another 1 or 2, so that I can drag my girlfriend into yet another hobby of mine or something.
Yep.
So,
Excellent.
There you go.
it's great. It was a
Nice.
blast.
Dan, you said a tiny beast.
Tiny or small.
Okay.
He absolutely is.
That is so amazing. I would have. I think it would have been cool to see you do that, like the process that you went through to get it,
I was
into form. That's really neat.
I was actually really thinking about it, and I'm a kind of person who like I jump from like hobby to hobby to hobby to hobby because I like learning a bunch of things.
Same.
And I never really like dive into one and get really deep into it, with the exception of like D&D and maybe gaming. I haven't really gotten like heavy into any hobbies, but a lot of them are surprisingly accessible for being like kind of complicated. Like you'd think like, oh man, I need hundreds of dollars to go shoot a bow and arrow. Nah, dude, you need $10, Home Depot, 2 hours, and a few arrows, right? And the arrows are $30. So for less than $50, you can go start shooting archery. You know what I mean? Like, and I was thinking that it would be kind of cool. I'm not sure whether or not I actually want to do it, but I thought it would be really fun to make like I don't know how to describe it, but like a YouTube channel where I try a bunch of different things to see how accessible they are to like the average person, and try and do it like as cheap and easy as possible. And then
Make it
like
happen. Madbird's new content. I will promote you.
I was thinking that would be like a really fun thing, not just like because YouTubing is fun, but also because like I'd get to do what I do all the time anyway, which is explore about a million different hobbies.
Nice.
So,
Dan?
Yeah.
Quick, choose a letter, C or R.
R.
Okay. Then Rain's little familiar is going to be a raven.
Oh, okay.
It was tied between cat or raven.
Ah, cool.
But I was like,
Where is Seb
Yeah.
currently? Didn't he stay at the keep?
No, he's in the flying. He's with
Inverness.
Immersina.
Yeah.
Okay. Seb, yes.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Stop laughing.
Seb's fine. Seb's fine. I have to
it.
try to recall. I knew he was somewhere
God.
safe for the most part.
For the most part.
All right. Well, I'll jump us back in here then. Morning comes around after more. You've had. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to look up those other spells for Aga and Mort whilst you do your thingamabobs. So everyone's waking up. Aga, you've had that dream. You have that 10-second. You wake up to yourself screaming. You must have woken yourself up. And it's 10 seconds without being able to stop. But then it calms down and you're back. Catch your breath, back to normal.
Wait, I thought I sent Seb. Did I send him after Aaronwind?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
haven't.
I sent him
Sheet.
away after.
So is Seb supposed to be here with all of you?
I mean, if he could find his way to everybody after
Oh,
the
he had to
tower,
find
maybe.
his own way. Oh, right. It wasn't like Aaron was right there and you're like, go get her. Okay. Say, Emil, would you mind rolling a survival check with advantage for Seb?
Just had to bring him up.
Let me see if I can find some stats here.
Okay, sorry. Thanks.
Just had to bring him up, didn't you?
I said nothing.
Nice.
Well, I mentioned Raven. Dan brought him up.
All right. The two spells that the Runekeeper, the Tensor currently had available, and I know it's a university, but because I can't break mechanics, why I say two spells available. The first one, let's do roll. Ugh, that's a terrible roll. Well, that's not bad. I guess that's not terrible. It's gaseous form.
I already have that. Okay.
Oh. All right. The second one, which is a 5th level spell. All right, where are my 5th level wizards? Wizard spells. All right. And that's another crap roll, but that doesn't really matter because it's just picking its place. Let's see. That's seeming. That's not a bad 5th level spell. Hopefully you guys don't have that one. Is that new for both of you?
I think so. Yes. Seeming, definitely, I think.
Seeming, and what was the other one? I'm sorry, Dan.
Gaseous form.
Thank you. Gaseous form.
Gaseous form.
Mm-hmm.
Seeming. Yeah, both those are new.
Nice. Oh, man, this coffee's so full. Let me see if I can tip it so you can see it before it
Oh,
spills.
man.
Nope.
No, don't.
Oh, there it is.
Just
See?
don't. Okay. All right, Dan. Okay.
Don't waste it. Oh my
It's-
god,
it's-
what is wrong with you?
Man.
The percentage of booze in the ratio is way off. I was like,
there and slap you. Never spill it.
it's I ran out of rum chata from the last one. It was just had a little tiny bit in the bottom. So this time it's Bailey's and Kraken's dark spiced rum.
Wait, you mixed Bailey's and Kraken
Oh, in the coffee? Oh, it's great.
in the
Yeah.
coffee? Okay, I thought
Oh,
you
yeah.
were strictly drinking Bailey's and Kraken, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Dan.
No.
You die.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, I'm dead.
It's time for Dan to take a nap.
Yeah, and hopefully wake up.
Oh gosh, don't say that.
All right. Well, exciting. So, Aga, of course, you know that all of your Warforged stuff is in Kaelin's hometown there of Caldarul.
I don't think she ever told me any of that.
Ooh, okay.
I think I think out of character we had discussed it, but I don't think in character that she ever shared anything beyond. I think we have a forge that can do that.
I know I did tell him where, because I didn't know if he would go there, because that was before I told him Bon Ladir.
Okay, so the island part, but not okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you know that's out there then. Kaylin, you know your teleportation circle's back up there. And they've given you the sequence, so anyone in your party that you feel comfortable giving that sequence to, they can learn the sequence. To teleport right into your basement, as that's where you would set it up with Brewer.
It's completely separate from the rest of the house, so we're fine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Let's see. Emil, you also have, not a summons, but a request for a meeting with airmen there in Calderul.
17, by the way.
Oh, for the
17
survival. Okay, good. All right, how are we going to do that? Oh, let's see. He bamfed there, and then when you came back out, Erin, she's not here. When Erin returned through the portal, that brings her to Zambora. Felix has had a companion these past couple of days since the party bamfed out. I think that would be the Seb's safest transition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And all the creatures there in the forest are aware of Seb, so they just let him cruise in. All right.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Anxiety. I was like, please.
I'm so sorry, Seb. Yeah. Sorry, Emil.
I would feel really, really bad.
Nice. Gallagher, you also know Bone Lodir, effectively somewhere is where your map is pointing you. And we did Mort's thing, so the morning has come about. You all get together at some point in the cafeteria, this classic cafeteria. You've had a lot of escapades here with different people. And you sit down, some delicious food, quite a spread. You sit down on one of those long farm tables that the cafeteria has set up with the benches on either side and dig in and discuss your plans. What would you like to do moving forward?
Sit down, eat near the end of the table. I'm working on a new figure.
Oh, okay.
I'll sit at the opposite end.
I don't know if you saw my Facebook message, but apparently this was pointed out to me by my best friend. He said Davania has a thing of tossing and throwing cups.
That's awesome.
So
hadn't clicked. That's pretty funny.
Hadn't clicked until now. Sorry.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Erin strikes up conversation. So, I don't really know where to go next to get wiser or stronger. Any thoughts? Galathor. She'll lean over to Galathor.
In my personal experience, getting stronger is easier than getting wiser. Getting wiser generally takes more time.
Well,
my offer still stands about the estate. It's there.
Do you think anyone in your city would know more about, rune children, or is there a library there? Which there's a couple.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing a library there. They also have the archives. They might have something.
Oh, the archives?
Yeah, it's wherever we went to find Brewer's stuff. Dan's what I'm talking about.
Right. Sorry. Yeah. That was more.
Okay.
Oh,
I was just
my
making
bad.
sure that you weren't. It wasn't a DM.
I wasn't doing
like,
an Aaron
archives?
voice. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, really? Oh, that sounds amazing. Yes. Okay, I vote for the estate. Plus, she looks at more. I want to look at those ruins some more.
Okay, sounds like a good place to start.
Speaking of the estate, Kaylin, do you recognize this? And then Galathor shows her the map. I almost said Felix because we were talking about Felix earlier.
Ooh, oh, sorry. Kaylin, do you perchance speak? Oh, of course you speak Elvish because you were raised by elves. Neat. So you read the whole thing. You see the Bolno deer, and well, just on the DM side of things, you don't recognize the underground, like this underground cave system part of the map. There's like a superimposed 30% transparency image above it, and that looks like some sort of structure. It looks vaguely reminiscent of the lowest level of Calderul, as though perhaps this cave system is below Calderul.
It looks like it could be of someplace below Calderul. I recognize this area, kind of.
I found this map inside the supposed Shield of Helm, the one that we purchased at the auction.
Wait, supposed?
My ears
Doesn't
are
seem-
gonna perk up.
It doesn't seem like it's the real article.
That show was a lot of money.
Out of character, did you say shield or did you say shit?
I said shield.
I was like, damn, Kaylin's on fire here.
I needed to kind of calibrate.
Yeah, no, I said shield.
Okay. It was, but this could perhaps explain why the. Sorry, Dan, could you remind? Was it Tyr? Was it Torm? Was it?
There's Kier, right? Yeah, Kier. In fact, Tyr. Sorry, I'm thinking now of Kier, which is a deity, but a different one. So many names that sound so similar. Tyr, Tyr, was the shield of, and the people that were after the shield of the auction, rather, were Tyr, if that's what you're asking.
Exactly. This could explain why the followers of Tyr were seeking the shield.
So you had no idea.
Not the foggiest.
Well, that's peculiar. But,
Perhaps if while we're there, we could look into it. If you don't mind, I could definitely use a guide.
I mean, I'm not too familiar with most of this, but, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
It's a little... I just have to be careful. It's a little, odd. A shield breaking and a map falling out of it.
Do you think it's too convenient?
Would you have anyone that would know that you would buy the shield and... I mean, the map's not marked at all, right, Dan? Like, it's not like...
It is
marked
not.
as...
Well, there's an X. There's a literal X marks a spot on it. Otherwise...
I look in the back and it says Thomas Guide.
Nice.
I mean, it could have just been something that someone put in there for someone else. And it just so happened to be the shield that you bought.
Dan,
But-
could you remind me, was the auction, we were informed about the auction from Sterling Sam, right?
I think it was Sterling Sam, yeah. It was either that or going about through the town. I think you'd also have been doing some research through town, like stopping in at places. that
Oh,
may
right, that
be-
shopkeeper. Wait, no.
Yeah, was it a it might have been an NPC as you were looking for info. Gosh, I'm sorry, I can't remember. It was
wanna say
reliable
it was better
information.
notes, Dan.
Sorry, I do not have enough room for the
Okay.
notes anymore. It was a reliable source. I'll just say that whether Sterling Sam or NPC, it was definitely someone that you would have incited and they would have been honest and not misleading, if that's a factor.
If I remember correctly, it was Sterling Sam who told us about the auction, and do you think that they would lie to us?
It was. They
Mislead
gave
us?
you invitations. She gave you the tickets. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. You're right. I forgot. Well, we can check it out. See what it is. Can't be any more dangerous than what we've already done.
And we've got so much danger behind at our backs at this moment. I'd hate for us to be looking around our shoulders for something else, something jumping out to haunt us.
If you're anything like me, you would rather know than just have it sit there.
Definitely.
So, we'll look into it. Maybe we could even ask around town and get some more information. Maybe not show them the map, but just ask. Maybe try to see if there's a map to a similar area. See if it matches up.
That's a brilliant idea. And do you still have accesses? Or might Brewer have access
Access to what?
to the city?
To the city that the estate's in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, as far as I know, I have access. I'm kind of on that council, so I would hope so. Unless you know something I don't.
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I should be able to. Yeah. If there's information there, we'll find it.
Great. Thank you for your help.
No problem. Well, I'll be glad to get back to the estate, at least for a visit. So, she's saying that to everyone. I'm ready whenever anyone else is.
How do we get there again?
Transportation circle.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
There's one there now. Did you not hear me tell the group earlier?
That was out of character.
Okay.
Dan,
Yeah.
just as a little retcon to just before we go, Emil would seek out Tara or somebody else in the harbors and point out that there are some vampiric scions below the city that got him into a little bit of trouble.
Ooh, right.
Down in the sewers. Just ask them to maybe clean those up at some point.
Wow, yeah.
Just pass that on, because that's where Emil and Astrid caught their vampirism.
Oh, wow, we're back. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Tara will definitely be available and accessible to you. In fact, she'll make the time to see you. So she.
I'll
registers
just
that.
pass.
What?
Pass that on, like.
Oh. Well, thank you, Emil. Well, we'll take care of that right away. We can't have what? So she hurries off to make that happen. Ooh, all right. Is anybody not amenable to heading there, character-wise? All right. You make the trip. Now, Kaylin, who are you going to share that runic sequence with? Again, they will have permanent access to jump in your home anytime you like.
Oh.
Eckert.
Do I have to share it right now?
When you're ready to go. So probably. I mean, you've seen Mort do it. You imagine that Aga, being a wizard, could do it. I don't know if Davania gets that spell or Erwin.
Yeah, you've seen me use it with the shield thing at the auction.
Given current knowledge, she would probably share it with Mort.
Okay. You find some time to step off to the side and teach Mort the big bad end game. No, just kidding. You teach him the sequence. And so, this college, Tench University, does have its own teleportation circle. You find your way there, and you prepare to head out. Clerk just double checks it. Oh, is there anything else before you leave that you need to get done? Last call.
I send this letter to whatever postal system you have here.
Of course. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Could you remind me the name of... We're on the continent with the
Calais.
different... Yeah, is this the one with the, different, species? Right? With their highly advanced technological city?
No, that's Iverness. That's in a different portion of the world.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This one is
mind
just a bunch of commercially greedy
Okay.
individuals of different races, yeah.
Okay.
Calais.
Very well, please step in the middle of the circle and we'll take care of you. He steps back. And again, it's a familiar, circle at this point. There are different tiers of stone, big 3-foot blocks of stone laid at different intervals intersecting, and they start spinning in different directions at different speeds. It whirs up to a blur, activating all the runic sequences in the wizard circle beneath your feet, and drawing you as though grabbing you by the chest and pulling at warp 6 to a different destination. You're all fairly accustomed. You've done it enough times where you know what to expect. And so you slow down and you snap, you catch yourselves, and you see dust settling. And this was built effectively in the center of that, what you had all assumed, what you're all assuming was a fight pit kind of area.
Oh, it's there.
The dust pushes out. Yeah. There is an easier path, heavily locked and hunkered down to almost like a bulkhead to leave the basement. There's no direct access to the house up above. You have to go out here and then back around into the house. But Brewer's there. Expecting, I'm sure he would have messaged and expecting return. Oh,
yeah.
You have all returned. I am pleased. You are well. So for those that don't know, what you see is a living Warforged. For those that haven't seen, our good friend Brewer here. You see this delightful creature. Triple katana set at his side. A full daisho. And like a samurai, he stands there and cloak drawn down. You can see his face. I am
Is
glad.
he asking Kalen specifically and directly?
Everyone.
That's what we all want to know.
Nice. He gives a little extra attention on Kalen, but he's scanning everybody.
It's good to see you, Brewer.
It is good to see you. Please let us head upstairs. Does anyone want to stay down here? I know Mort and Aaron were interested in the studying those runes more, but I don't want to assume either that you want to do it right away. So,
every piece of information I could possibly get from examining him, the Warforged Brewer, from a distance, I'm going to try to extract it right now.
Ooh.
I'm just staring at everything. Can I see the heart? Can I tell where it's located? Can I see how he works? Like,
nice.
Anything I can figure out, I wanna try and discern that from.
Kaylin can share her notes.
Nice. That's awesome.
Do you know him intimately well?
No. No, but she
You'd be
has taken
surprised
notes and
about
she
this
has
function. Yeah.
she has talked to him.
God damn it! I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One weird function. Just kidding. Sorry.
I know.
Took it
She
real
does have
fast.
extensive notes because she talked to him right after he started hanging with the group.
Right.
So
That's
Okay.
wild.
You could do an investigation check at first glance too to see like what you spot, and then you're pretty sure already that Kaylin probably, knowing Kaylin as enough as you do, even a little bit of time she takes us.
It's a 23.
Ooh, okay. So you have a rough idea of where the heart likely is. It's likely in the chest cavity. In fact, you see a place on the chest chassis that has been repaired. Like it took some pretty hardcore damage at one point, and some form of similar metal was fused back in. Nice, Caleb. It's awesome. And there's a slight hum from that area. Mechanics, it seems to be very impressive engineering. Much more so, a lot of miniature work in here, not just your basic gears and sprockets and pulleys and such. There's quite a bit of work that goes into this. A lot of articulation in the joints. It's really impressive. You can tell by his gait that he has a lot of speed despite his weight. And just a danger. He stands, I forget what he stands, something like 9 or 10 feet tall or something. He's pretty tall. So it's also just an impressive form. Yeah.
Does it look like I could probably attempt something similar, but make it shorter and more heavily armored? Maybe with some help.
You have to imagine there's some other size things. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's still really difficult to tell. There's so much hidden and not understood yet, but it's definitely something Caleb might be aware of.
Okay.
You would think to yourself, I imagine.
Okay.
Whew. All right. Sorry, what would anyone like to stay down here, I should ask then? Okay, Mort?
Are you going over to the time runes?
That's my second act. I have something to do before that.
Okay.
I'll tell them. If Erwin asks me, I'll tell him what I want to do.
Cool. I'll meet you at the time runes.
Okay.
Okay.
Caleb would ask for how everything's going. How
I see.
anything new since the last time that we chatted? And gosh, where was it, Dan? Was it Metz?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
As he's undoing the door, all the heavy blockade stuff in the door, his head will turn like, not quite a 180, but enough to spin around backwards to talk to you as he's doing it. Well, you're likely to be surprised by the state of your estate. And that's his best attempt at a joke. He waits for a response, but
Kaylin will smile. Kaylin will smile.
He spins his head back around and opens up the bulkhead.
Is that a good surprise or a bad surprise?
Yes. Jeremiah and Suzukan and the young half-elf have worked very hard.
Okay.
You're all sort of, everyone aside from Mort and Aaron are heading up out of the bulkhead now and around this side of the building back towards the front. The things have started coming together politically with news of, and you hear little gyros scanning back and forth for a minute. Raikari. Many of the council have considered working with other nations, other kingdoms.
I'm going against Raikari.
Yes. The threat is real with Yithaz behind Raikari. And so things have begun to move and work much more smoothly here. You approach the front door.
I suppose I should probably stop in and talk to them. Show them I'm still alive.
I think that would be good. You see Blueberry off in the distance digging up something that he
Sure.
buried a while ago. Callie will buzz out of the hat and start buzzing around. Let's see, has Brewer met Davania yet?
That's a good question.
I don't think
think
so.
so.
Well,
So I'm just literally standing there, just
Okay.
watching everything.
he was there. He helped us. He was there in Metz. Was that before or after? That was like right before. I think we.
Oh, before you met Davania, right? Yeah, because
Was
then
it?
you went back to, yeah, it was. Because then you went to the Keep, which is where, in Zambora, which is where you
Okay.
met Davania.
Okay.
And then Bant.
Okay, that's
Okay.
right.
He'll, walk up, but leave a good 6 feet between the two of you. And won't really extend a hand. He'll just stand sort of in this pose, a little breeze from the Underdark, from the cave system, flaps his cape a little bit. I am Brewer. He introduces himself initially as Brewer to Davania.
I am Davania. I'm looking up because he's taller than me.
He gives a nod, and then you see again his body pivots a little bit, like hips, feet, head, everything kind of at a different pace, and a little smoother than that. And he walks over to Aga, and sort of does the same thing, pauses, and his cape kind of flows over in front of him this time. I am Brewer.
You are fascinating. And he's going to put his hand out and he's going to say, Aga.
Reach his hand out and very carefully grasp it and firmly grasp it. Grasps your hand. She gives a
Aga's going to kind of like, were you born like this?
and he'll look over at Kaylin for like, is this guy okay?
Did you build him?
No, I didn't. Brewer helped us once and is now part of the family.
I was born a dwarven child. Dwarven baby, I guess. A dwarf.
So you became this. This is not your natural form.
No. During the Great War, and he'll go into his little spiel to give like a very not quite monotone, he's gotten a little better with that, but his whole spiel, he was, they had started conscripting people. Nice. There was, this Great War, or whatever it is, 3,000 years ago, or 2,000 and change years ago, and the dwarves of Calderpool were way ahead of their time with crafting. They had this forge, this Wraithstar forge, and they were able to craft. He doesn't mention Wraithstar forge, but he talks about this forge. They were able to craft these wonderful magical items and armor, and eventually warforged in mass production for this war. But they started running out of volunteers. It requires a living soul. And when they started running out of volunteers for this war effort, they started offering money to and means to people on the street. I will help, this other person for your family will be taken care of, kind of thing. Actually, that was after they started conscripting like death row inmates and other inmates and stuff. Then they went to the street and they offered Brewer, who was a very young dwarf, very, very young, that if he were to conscript his mother, who was very sick and they could not afford medication to treat her illness, that they would treat it. It's a curable condition. They would treat it and she would be taken care of. And so he only recently recovered those memories, thanks to Stormfall Crow. But he covers the whole thing, the loss of, who he was as a person when gaining this form and his struggle to try and get that back.
Wait,
Yes?
this actually, Aga,
Hmm.
that's what you're trying to do. I thought it was a myth.
Wait, what?
I don't understand. How does one... Ugh.
I'm a little lost. And she'll look between Aga and Davania.
Talk to her.
Do you remember when I sent you a message and I asked you about creating golems and creating creatures, and you said you had a forge that was capable of doing it?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to gesture towards Brewer. I want a body like that. Brewer, would you like to trade? I know I'm no dwarf, but I'm organic. I'm closer than that is. Or are you happy with your form?
I am pleased with my form. And then look at Kalen, because he has some information as to whether or not you can remove the soul from the Warforge and turn it back, but he doesn't want to share it without, any approval. So if Kalen doesn't give like a tell him thing, he'll just continue on the conversation.
No, I don't think that Kalen would probably pick up on what he's motioning to her for.
Nice. And you would
Let's
also know,
look at her.
Kalen, that you can't, once the soul's in there, that's it.
There's
as
a,
far as you know.
From what I've read, once the soul's in the Warforge, that's all you can do.
I find that difficult to believe. We just
Honestly?
discovered a tower that transcends these storms that have kept people separated for aeons, and the tower can manipulate both space and time. I have a feeling that it is undoable, changeable, but we simply aren't there yet.
I won't disagree with you.
Perhaps Aoife, was that her name?
Hmm.
Perhaps Aoife would have some insight on the subject. I have a feeling she's much older than she lets on.
Well, there was a heart there, so maybe.
Standing in the doorway, you hear a voice. Well, that's great. Are we going to be talking here all day? No introductions for poor Jeremiah? Been slaving my arse off for you.
Jeremiah had that accent last
He
time.
does now. Yep.
I have
What
no
a DM
memory.
answer. He does now.
Expected.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's in my notes now, so now he does.
Kaylin will kind of like brush herself off, kind of make herself a little bit stand a little bit taller. Jeremiah, how are things?
Oh, dandy. Sure, everything's fine.
Everything good with the estate?
Oh, of course. Would you like to take a
Okay.
look?
Sure. Everyone who hasn't met, this is Jeremiah. He works in the estate.
It's a pleasure.
Are the other two still here?
Aye, working hard.
Okay.
Jeremiah's, oh gosh, I don't have his whole description. He's human. Human male.
Happens somewhere.
Mid-40s. I forget the rest. Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Caitlin, where does one go outside?
You are outside right now, I think.
I thought we were in a hallway. No?
Outside
No.
currently.
We're
He's just standing
outside?
in the doorway,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then I'm just gonna like turn around and walk away from everybody and just go find a tree to sit down
Okay.
Rain,
under it.
Good,
go
Rain.
ahead, Melissa.
Go for it, Rain.
Rain is gonna find the tree that they got tangled up in when they first encountered Rain.
Oh, okay.
So once I find that tree, I'm going to just sit and
Okay.
well,
Nice.
take that back. I'm gonna actually cast Temple of the Gods.
Oh, okay. That's the one
Yeah.
that comes out of the ground and lasts for 24 hours?
See,
Nice. So there's a lot of space here, and I should probably share the image. There's a lot of space here, and so a large. That's really hard to see. Okay, a large, church building pushes up out of the stone of the effectively backyard. It goes off to a cliff that is the Underdark. A sharp cliff with switchback stairs on its way down. So before you reach that, there's just a bunch of stone in your backyard. The crystals attached to the ceiling and walls here are 8-10 feet tall batches of crystals that offer reds and blues and yellows and whites that fill the cave system here with some sharp lighting here and there. And this church comes up out of the ground, and the doorway swings open for you, Rain.
Okay, and then I get to choose the following creatures that I don't.
Right.
Rain wouldn't know that Davania is a celestial, right?
I don't think she's used her wings in front of you. Have you, Davania? I mean, you're.
I know I wasn't able to go into one of the things that she created, like this spatial. I don't remember, because she said that celestials.
Yeah, I don't think you.
I don't think so. I agree.
No.
I don't think I've
Okay,
actually.
then Rain would just choose celestials, elemental space, and fiends.
Okay.
So.
Celestial and fiends. Yeah, Emil?
I know we teleported directly into Kalen's keep, correct?
Yes.
Basement.
There was no problem with me getting in?
No.
Okay.
Given the circumstances, yep. Doop.
Now, would Rain know that Emil is sort of undead or not?
You're not sure.
You're not. Yeah, you wouldn't know at this point.
Okay. Celestials, elemental space, and fiends.
Okay.
Now, enter.
All right.
And if they try to, I'll give other directions.
Okay.
There's a segment here for that.
Neat.
Nothing has happened. It's blah. I can talk. I'm
Awesome.
a human. So.
All right. You step inside. The doors close behind you. Blueberry runs around the corner and pees on the foundation, marking his territory. Classic Blueberry. So Jeremiah invites you all in, and the place looks really nice. Whatever you had envisioned, Kaylin, it's that and more. The instructions you left, it's a proper living space now, head to toe.
I'm totally
top
going to
to
make an
bottom.
illustration of this, BTW.
Please, yes, that would be amazing. Whatever you want. And you have any level of extravagance you want, given your position here. You see Suzukin in there. Oh, well, I'm glad you all could make it back. I was sure that some of you wouldn't. And she'll look around and say, is anyone missing from last time? I immediately go to Aaron because Sam's character.
Imracina would have been switched out for Davania,
right.
but Davania's not in there, so Imracina will be gone.
Where's your bird friend?
Oh,
With the wings?
She's just in her home place,
good.
doing some things. So.
Good. Well, what about the little, the short, the friend with a beard?
Oh, he's downstairs.
Right, and the one that danced and pranced and talked a lot.
Downstairs as well. Downstairs as well.
That's fun.
I think everyone made it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, can I prepare some food for y'all?
You guys did an amazing job with this place. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad you approve. Our young friend here still hasn't landed on a name, but quite a hard worker. You must have made quite an impact on him.
How tall did you say the third one is, Dan? The unnamed one?
The young half-elf gentleman.
Yes.
Let's see. He's like 18, so I think he's like an average height, maybe 5'7".
Okay. Kaylin will look to the unnamed one. Thank you.
Gives a couple Deep nods.
Well, I hope you guys haven't worked all of your time. Have taken some time off here and there.
Oh, right. Yes, Jeremiah takes plenty of that. Always testing out the beds and the comfort of the place and testing the food and making sure everything's fine. And Jeremiah's like, giving her the stink eye for saying it. So you can tell there's a little dynamic that's built up here.
Okay. She'll kind of look to Jeremiah.
Oh, she don't even mean it? She don't even mean that. She's just pulling your chain.
Okay. Well, good job.
Did you expect anything else?
I don't really know what to expect from people, but you three have surprised me.
He looks over at the other two. Well, we'll count that a win then.
Absolutely.
Rest yourselves down. Take a load off. We'll get you some food. Get you what you need. Cure us what ails you. Rest.
Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Alright, so she'll look to everyone. Just make yourself at home. It's your home as well. So I'll be right back, and Kaelin's gonna go upstairs to her room to sit down the figurine that Davania made her.
Aww, that's so sweet. Awesome. Let's see. Brewer is gonna knock on your door at one point.
Yes?
It is I.
Oh,
May.
come on in.
Door opens up. And I won't blast the whole thing. He's actually just going to inform... First he's... well, I guess I'll RP a little of it. Are you sure you... Are you considering transferring that one's soul?
Into a Warforged?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on it?
My selfish thoughts. I would love to have another of my kind. I still have yet to find another.
No.
They should have the consequences impressed thoroughly. The loss of self is important to know.
Yeah.
On that note, I have discovered an additional component required for the process.
Oh, really? What would that be?
Upon speaking with the... Oh gosh, what did I call that? The what of the Smith? It's like the protector of the Smiths? Whatever they are. You remember that?
Yeah.
entity?
I know what you mean.
There are a certain type of crystals required. Morning dew crystals. The soul, as it were, can overheat in the transfer process and receive damage without these crystals to disperse the heat.
And the Forge doesn't have any of those on hand, I take it?
They do not. These crystals have a biological aspect, and so they do not maintain for longer than 10 years at a time.
Got it.
However, they do grow in Barakir below the city.
Below this city.
Yes, Barakir is the Underdark portion located directly below the city.
Got it. Brewer, are we 100% sure on the once you're in a Warforged body you can't get out?
To the best of my recollection, yes. However, in my travels over these centuries, I have seen some magic able to warp reality. A wish spell is very potent. There may be other means as well.
I saw Aga just take his soul from one body into another and back again.
Oh?
Yeah. Back at the tower that we were at.
Perhaps we can explore that skill or magic that he used.
I can ask him about it. Yeah.
It might be good to understand how to reverse this if you plan on using it.
No, that's the only reason why I would use it. So things have been really okay here.
The council has begun to accept me as a liaison and a stand-in.
As they should.
Things are going well, but much better now that you are here.
Same. I miss being here. I can honestly say in the past, I mean, you saw how I was in Metz.
Yes.
I can't say it's much different. But being here clears my head. I'm glad to be here.
I'm sure your presence here will only have a positive effect on the city and its citizens, as it has on me.
Thanks, Brewer.
Of course, Jessera.
Thank you, Finholt.
Gives an extra nod. Little robot smile cracks. There is a delightful festival in the city today. Oh gosh, what time is it? It's probably afternoon. I suggest you all enjoy the free drink and food and merriment. And I'll kind of turn to start heading out.
What festival?
The Festival of Quartz. Yeah.
A festival of quartz?
Yep.
Like the rock?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Are you going too, Brewer?
Would you like me to?
Absolutely.
Then I will.
Good. All right. Well, let's go and rally the crew then.
All right. He heads out and heads down. Now, Mort, you had something down in the basement before the study?
Yeah. I'll actually grab Arrowin just to show him what he it's no big secret. He had a thought. So I'm going to take her and say, now that the teleportation circle's here, I just wanted to take a precaution. I'm going to take her back to the manager's office in the back, if I remember.
Yeah.
That's where the door is that leads to the.
Correct.
Yes, I'm going to cast Arcane Lock on that door.
Ooh, okay, nice.
So then this is going to be a lot of foot traffic down here from the teleportation circle. So I just want precaution. I realize there's still some other things that will get in the way, but just for safety's sake. Just always thinking of safety. So.
Okay, well, I don't have a way to open or close that, so.
I will give you the password.
Okay.
Ooh, go But is it a complex password? I'm just kidding. Did you use numbers and letters and
And a special
Is it
character.
strong enough?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
spell one.
Between you and I, we have pretty much just a jumble of letters, numbers, and special characters.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's just what our magic is.
Awesome. All right.
All right, then we'll go and study the.
Is someone going to come tell us about the festival?
I think so, right, Kaylin? Are
Yes,
you-
I'll come and tell them, but first I want to find Aga.
Okay.
Are you downstairs in the estate?
If he would have been given a room, he would be there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So you would be just in the main area of the estate then? Or
Yeah,
outside?
if he hasn't been given one, then yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, she'll go to Aga. Well, welcome. This is my family estate.
It's nice.
It
I've
wasn't
noticed
this
that
nice
you guys
when I left.
got bigger while you were gone, or smaller.
It's the same size. I just had servants decorate the place.
I've watched you guys visibly relax here. I guess that means this is safe.
Yes, and in fact, we have spare rooms, so any one of them is yours.
Yeah,
You
he
don't
kind
see.
of, while you're talking, he's like constantly like other people feel safe. He feels
Yeah.
more paranoid.
Sure,
So,
sure.
what were you saying?
If there's a room with no stuff in it, then you can take it. I mean, don't take the stuff. You can stay in the room.
I understood. I appreciate it.
How long of a walk does it take to get over to the forge, Dan?
Let's see. It's probably maybe. You know the way. You know how to get there safely.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say maybe 2.5, 3 hours because you've got to do
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of descent.
All right.
And then crawl through that crystalline cave, that tight crystalline cave and stuff.
Well, maybe not right now, but I'll show you the forge at some time.
Okay, I was checking a spell. Sure.
Okay.
Is it far?
It's about a 2.5 hour walk. So,
Well, me and Mort just learned a spell that can help us move much faster in groups.
well, yeah, I wouldn't be taking the entire group over there. They only been over there once, but I've been over there a few times. Well, more than a few. Yeah. Sorry if I'm a little awkward. It takes me a while to trust people.
If you trusted people outright, I wouldn't trust you.
Good point. Good point. But yeah, if you need something in the city, just let me know. I'm on the High Council, you know. It's something little. Caitlin doesn't smile. This is a stuffed smile.
Awesome.
So you're in charge then.
I'm share that responsibility with about 4 other people.
He's gonna kind of like stop surveying the room long enough to like look at her. Insight check. Does she really share it? Like for real? And like, I'll roll if you want me to, or you.
I mean, yeah, she does share it. I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow. And you share it. Control of the area.
I mean, it's kind of new to me. I just kind of accepted the position and then kind of left on furlough. But it's there for me. Well, not it was a year, a little bit less than a year now, is when I have to be back for good. If I want to do that.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I appreciate your hospitality.
Absolutely. I bet we're different from your group, huh?
He does smirk. He would smirk pretty prominently, I think. Particularly thinking about Thaxel, and he'd go, "Yep." And I think he'd just say "yep" and smile and nod.
I figured. You guys definitely seem different in the tower. Not a bad different, really, just different.
I would agree. It's a different world over here with you guys. I'm taking my time taking it in.
Sure. If you have any questions, just let me know, or probably most of the people here will be willing to answer. All right, well, I'm going to go down and tell Mortimer and Darrenwin that there's apparently a festival in town that Brewer thinks we should go and relax at. Do you relax, Aga?
I'm sorry, I thought you said you went to go talk to Mortimer. So I was
said
listening.
I'm going to.
Oh,
I
okay.
said I'm going to go and talk to. I'm going to go and
Okay, I
tell
misunderstood.
Mortimer.
Okay.
And then she asked, "Do you relax, Aga?"
No. I
Same.
don't.
Same. And she'll leave.
All right. Rain eventually get a knock on the door. You know what? I'll say that it's what's her name there? I of course scrolled away from that, so now I don't have her name. Suzukin. Dear, your friends are leaving for the festival in town. They wanted me to let you know, in case you're going with them.
I'm gonna crack the door just a little bit to see who it was.
Dear, I probably wouldn't recognize her because you didn't go inside. It's Suzukin. I work here for Kaylin. Anyway, she just wanted me to let you know.
I give a nod.
Okay.
To acknowledge. And then I'm gonna slowly open the door, step, and then close, and then head into the estate with everybody else.
All right. Is anybody not going to the festival? Okay, good.
I actually think Aga would.
Oh, okay. All right,
I think he'll
Aga.
spend some time crafting.
All right. There is, for what it's worth, if you explore the house, I believe, Kaylin, didn't you want a room set up for your artificing?
Probably.
So there is
I
an
would have
artificing
asked for,
room.
I'm sure.
I totally would have asked before I used it, by the way. Aga would have mentioned it to Kaylin before she left for the festival, if she's leaving for it.
Oh, yeah. Make use of it. It's brand new.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Neat.
And Kaylin, before leaving, Dan is going to find Jeremiah.
Okay.
So I don't know if you noticed, but we have probably a couple of guests that you don't recognize.
Oh, completely. Didn't see it at all.
You didn't see anyone?
Nope.
Okay.
Aye, I saw the guests.
Okay.
What is it I can do?
Well, and she's going to make sure that they're away from everyone
Mhm.
and possibly in a separate room with a closed door.
Sure thing.
The tiefling,
Right.
you know what a tiefling is, correct?
Aye.
I think that's only a tiefling in our group, right? There's anyone else a tiefling? No?
No,
No. Okay.
Brixie was, but
Oh, yeah, I know. I was making sure.
I'm just messing
tiefling.
with you stuff.
He's new to the group, and I trust him, but then I also kind of don't trust him.
Oh, aye. We'll keep a careful eye on him then.
Just keep an eye on him.
Sure.
I've given him. I'm going to show him the oh, did they? I don't think they know about the forge. Ipsday. Ipsday on the Orange Fae. I told him that he could use the artificer's room upstairs.
Oh, all right.
And also gave him one of the rooms to stay in. Told him to just take one that wasn't being used.
All right.
Other than that, if you see him, I mean, you should know common sense if he seems to be up to something that he shouldn't be.
Anything shady, right?
Just keep me aware.
Will do.
And
Will
she'll
do.
give him a gold piece.
I almost forgot your generosity, but really, how could I ever? He plops it in his pocket. I'll keep a careful eye on him.
And
And then he's like, "Oh,
Be
sorry." You're like looking at your
be
eye.
sure to help out the other staff members.
Of course.
Okay. All right. Jeremiah, I'm counting on you.
Oh, I won't let you down.
Okay. Are you
Thank
going in? It's the staff. You guys are going into the festival, right?
Oh, perhaps later, if Evan, your tiefling friend is going to stay here. It best we
Okay.
stay here just to keep a more careful eye.
Well, as long as you have time. If you have to leave, then you have to leave. I mean, I don't want you to stay here too long and miss out.
Oh, it's all right. We'll make it
Okay.
work.
Okay.
Thank you,
right.
mistress.
And she'll leave.
Okay. So if everyone is scooching into town, it's bustling. It's much more lively. Davania's not. You're staying here. Okay.
No, I'm staying.
Okay.
I don't have any money to spend.
Nice.
Fucking
You
shield.
know.
Wait, yeah, you do.
Yeah, we got paid for doing work in the tower.
Where'd my cut then? No, I'm just kidding.
I think everybody got a cut.
Yeah, everybody got some.
100
We all
gold.
got
Did
We all got
everybody get though?
600 gold and 89 platinum.
Yeah, you're good.
Except for
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm
minus
pretty
Emil.
sure actually Aga turned that down as well.
Oh, okay. Right.
Pretty
right.
sure he turned it down as a sign of goodwill to Aoife in a
Oh.
request to get lessons.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So Emil and Aga are without that particular boon. But
Now, Dan, before we go on, and I forgot to ask you during the break, did Rain's physical, besides height, Rain's physical appearance change any
Oh
at all?
yeah. Whatever. So it's actually up to you. Let's see if you were like 12, 13, it'd be anywhere from 6 to 10 years that you were there. So how long would you can be anywhere between 18 and 22.
Okay. We can talk about it later. I just didn't know, if anything.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you would have gone
the
through
is
puberty
the-
into adulthood. Yeah. Woohoo!
Ooh, the ride.
In the Shadowfell.
ride.
Yeah.
Like
Wham!
Spock, like Spock in the Quest for Spock.
All right.
It was a rough. It was a rough.
Awesome.
But
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay under the tree.
Okay.
is Mello still on Rain's arm?
Yes, actually. So you all begin as you all begin
Okay.
heading into town. You have Mallow on as a tattoo across your back, down your arms. Are you all staying in one huddled group? Or are you spreading out to check out the festival and meeting back up?
Aaron Wynn is absolutely hyperactive.
Mm-hmm.
Full ADHD mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's full on her description ADHD child with an ice cream cone
Nice,
and an
that's
amusement
awesome,
park.
Lauren. Aaron. Let's see. What else was there? Oh, Emil, are you perchance looking for Airman whilst here? Your mentor? Or not tonight?
I mean, we can certainly bump it to next session. I've got a couple of things. I have to return the Star Sapphire to Davania at some point, which I'd kind of forgotten about.
Okay.
So both of those things will be on Emil's mind for the next few hours.
Okay. So as you are processing that, Aga and staying inside the house working, sparks flying, working in this artificing room on things, on crafting. Davania outside in this soul tree out here in the barren, rocky, underdark landscape as you're just outside of town in this estate on the lowest level. Let's see. Aaron, when you're hyperactive, kind of ooh this and ooh that, there's stands set up. So it's actually
she's not going alone. So whoever is going to let Aaron Wynn drag along, she's going to do that.
I think Rain will let Aaron
Oh, nice.
do it.
All right. So two things will happen here because that's all that's here for now. As Galathor, of course, you have in mind like the map, and it's possibly underneath. Maybe Kaelin would share. I don't know. It's up to if Kaelin would share about Bodakir being below. The city might match up with this cave system you were saw on the map.
Oh, right.
Two things happen as Rain and Aaron are dancing around. I imagine with the hyperactivity, there's they're both together, both running around. Before the split, Rain, oddly enough, right out of the air flies down a raven here in the Underdark, or here in the Dwarven City, and as it has beady red eyes, and as it lands, it goes and hovers above you, a little bit reticent, like it wants to land but can't quite. Do you invite it to land on you?
I would stick on my finger like you would if you have like a parrot or something.
Okay, you do, and as you land, as it lands on your finger, it tucks its wings in. Mallow bursts off and behind you into the dragon form. Seemingly, you get that impression with your cleric. You're tied to this crow, and you're tied to Mallow. It's Mallow and the crow can't share you. It's attuning to one or the other.
Oh,
Would you like the crow to work the crow, or
you're making me choose.
I'll let you think about that. As that's happening, Aaron, you bump into there's a bunch of people
Why
here.
can't I have both, Raven and?
Sorry. Where are you, Aaron? There we go. Okay, so there's a bunch of people here, and there's mostly dwarvish folks, but as I think you were here before, people that get shipwrecked sometimes get stuck here in indentured servitude, and it kind of sucks trying to get out of this place. It's so remote. But you bump into a slim young girl with a very graceful bearing, large dark eyes, and short cropped blonde hair. And she's barefoot. She's wearing plain ankle-length robes of like a dark hue, maybe somewhere in the blue range. I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. Are you as excited as I am about this festival?
This is amazing. Have you tried this? Have you tried the kebabs over there?
Yes, I had 4. I kept going back and disguising myself so they'd give me more. It's so
really
good.
A good idea.
Yes. Do you want to go? I can go for 5th.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Do it. I'm Caitlin, by the way. She holds a little tiny hand out. Caitlin Moonsong. She shakes your hand. And with that, we'll end tonight's session. Festival blaring.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, Dan, I meant to mention before.
Uh-huh.
Rain is gonna look for a shop that has like gothic dresses.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Because
All
I
right.
imagine that she hit a growth spurt, and so her dresses
Nice.
Probably,
Their skirts,
like,
they're yeah.
almost knee high.
Nice.
So
This hurts. It's so constricting. Yeah, definitely. Then you can look for that. Aaron, when you've got your Caitlin Moonsong friend, Calthor and Kaylin, you've got a little bit more info on what might be going on. Aga, you're working away, sparks flying. Emil, you've got that stuff on your mind. Mort, would you mind, as we wrap up, rolling once more a percentile die? It's going to be your new friend.
And Brewer came with us, correct?
What's that?
Brewer came with the group, correct?
Right, yes. Brewer came along with. Davania's relaxing, the tree getting some well-earned rest.
22.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just do...
That's how old Rain is now.
That is awesome. All right, where's Mort's...
You find Mort in an alley in a fetal position.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. Okay. No, actually, things are going all right. You get this feeling like someone is watching you. Like someone's definitely watching in a paranoia way. Like you can't shake the feeling someone's watching. You keep looking, you don't see anyone, but it's just like, Davania, your mind as you're resting, you can't help but it keeps heading off to Dakota there, to Mal. Like you just, there's this anger. And, with that's always there, but just sort of washing over you here and there. You're having a very difficult time shaking the thought of them out of your head. And with all that going on, that's where we'll wrap up tonight's session of Stormfall. Yes! Yes! So much fun.
And we're back.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So no one knows how much cliffhangery that actually is because there's like all the things, but
No.
I do, and I'm excited.
We have
I'm
no idea.
cliff hung, or whatever that would be.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
Again.
Well,
whatever the
That's
actual
a
tense
little-
of cliffhanger would be.
No need to brag, man.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it
For
like that, I
real.
swear.
Real.
There's that
I successfully hung up on the cliff. Oh.
Wow.
Sorry,
t-shirt
I
with
did
that on
not
it
mean
now.
that like that. Yeah.
I am officially cliff hung. Title
Yeah.
of Dan's sex tape.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
great.
so great. Oh my gosh.
is
Players.
this my first official
for-
No, this is
session?
your second.
This is my second.
Yeah, this is your
Yeah.
second.
Yeah,
We're just in the
Yeah.
tower for one.
First one was exploring. This is your first,
Okay.
like, things are really moving and happening Stormfall
Yeah.
style. Just wait till next session when some of this stuff unlocks.
God.
And yeah. Oh my gosh. I realized it's such a good day of working things out for this. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We
Looking
can
things
tell.
up. Like,
I am
We're
yes.
psyched.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
excited to.
In the middle of a freaking conversation. What is going to happen?
I'm excited to unveil more.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, just wait till you. Oh, yeah. You've got other cooks. Oh my gosh. It's so everyone has like some really great stuff, personal story stuff, some fun doodad stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so great, so great.
I'm just glad to be back.
And thank you so much,
Same.
Chad. It was so great to have you all here.
Wait.
And players, you're so amazing. I love it. Such amazing role play, and you're just so creative, and it's beautiful to watch you all do your thing. Like, oh yeah, and then
Well, thank you, Dan.
Boop, boop, boop,
You did a
boop,
great
boop.
job.
Yeah. Thanks. Yay. All right. So I hope it's not too spammy. I'm gonna put my little donate thing in here again
Nope,
because
do
my
it.
computer's
Do
had like
it.
3 different
Do it.
shutdowns now. So
Do it.
I don't think he's going to.
He
Do
did.
it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone that has been able to chip in. Yes, I'm gonna get a proper thing on the bar here so we can see, where we are at meeting our goal here and everything. I truly appreciate those that have been able to donate and anyone that can. Super appreciate it. But if you can't, don't worry about it. Of course, no pressure. We'll make this work. We'll figure it out. But thank you again for all those that are able to and have and are considering it. If you're like, wow, this stream, I mean, obviously, if you're watching, you're like, oh, this stream, I need more of it in my life if you're new. So you can go to YouTube and see all of the older episodes of all our campaigns. You can also join our Discord to stay up to date on everything. We've got like a TikTok channel, a wholesome channel, like a safe space mental health channel. We have our D&D, which I'm going to blow up probably tomorrow. So expect a bunch of things in our Discord D&D tomorrow. And also just everyone chats and is amazing. So come join us there for sure. I'm going to take a quick look because I really want to make sure that I'm rating other folks. We've had a number of folks rating us, and it's just been so nice. And I want to pass that on. But before I do that, or while I'm setting that, I'm going to put up our schedule here. So tonight, you have been watching the incredible, the original campaign of the stream of the channel, Stormfall. And oops, there's my Twitch as I search for things. Sorry, anyone listening to that, you just got blasted with a song. All right, let's see. I think this one looks pretty snappy. Let's check some others. So Stormfall, catch us every Friday night, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern. Every Saturday is Court of Thorns, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern, which is our, like spooky, voodoo-esque, screw with your mind campaign. And a new campaign will be starting. Let's see, Saturdays is Andrew's, so I believe it's, I think it's 6 to 9, but we're going to have a new schedule up soon. And that's going to start, let me look, I think it's the 10th, if that makes sense. 9th? Okay.
Yeah, it's 6 to 9, and it
Next
starts
Saturday?
next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Nice. So check that out. That'll be a weekly campaign as well. And that's, I don't know, I won't say anything because I'm not sure how much Andrew wants to share. I haven't talked to him about how much he's okay with me sharing about the premise, but it's interesting, very unique. Let's see, which brings us over to Sundays, which we're having a new campaign added Sundays. Surprise! And that's, I think, 5:30 to 8:30. Kim, that DMs our Court of Thorns, will also be DMing the Equilibrium.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, cool. Equilibrium, which is set in, I think it's Wildmount.
Yes.
And it's a group of, there's so many things now in my head. It follows a group of adventurers, followers of Mystra, that go and stock the magical items in different dungeons and create new items and fun things, spreading joy and magic. Which I'm really interested to watch because it sounds very cool.
It's a mad cool premise.
Right?
Wait, so it's set in
It's in Wildmount.
Wildmount, yeah.
Oh,
so chickadee
okay.
check that action out. And of course, Sunday night, DM by...
Tildori, Wildmount.
Yep. Sunday nights, check out DM by our very own Victoria, Obsidian Scar. The Obsidian Scar, very exciting. Our Proper Naughty campaign, and oh boy it is. Oh boy. But fantastic. It's Lost Isles that are being explored, and there's all sorts of threats and danger and other amazing things going on, but also Proper Naughty. Every Monday night, our very own amazing Lady Steph DMs The Forsaken, which is a campaign where we, as the players, I'm fortunate enough to play in that as well, and we hoard all the quests. We complete 1% of them, but we collect 100%.
Yeah, you guys do.
Like a true RPG.
Yes, we might get every single thing. Every Tuesday night, you can catch our All Evil campaign, Kira's Lament, from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern. And that's a campaign that Rob is typically in. He's joining us here in Stormfall for now, for a bunch of reasons, but also, some in-game and some
None of them
out-of-game reasons.
nefarious. None of them.
Yes, it'll all be all right. And then
Sure.
right? Everything's fine. And then every
Actually,
Wednesday...
for once, that's true.
Nice. It really is. And then every Wednesday night, except for last Wednesday night, I'm so sorry, its computer decided to poop the bed and not stay running. Anyway, typically every Wednesday night you can catch Mad Bird Squawks, which is our weekly talk show, as Victoria coined it, our D&D therapy, where we get different players from different campaigns, all the campaigns across our channel, and sit down and just work out some measure, like talk about all the crazy things going on, and we answer questions from viewers live, as well as we keep a channel that we reset each week in our Discord. So again, consider joining our Discord so that you can jump in there and submit your own questions for the players and characters.
And also, I like to coin the talk show as it's Talks Machina, but therapy.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. And that's it. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for being amazing players and viewers. Amazing. Hope you all have a wonderful night. And can't wait to catch you soon. Take care, everyone. We're rating, let's see, Legendary Action Official. Ooh, catch you there.
Sounds official.
Ooh, yep. Bye-bye.
Good night.